1/4 century ago, 3 men shared a dream. Dave Buxton, Melvin Joseph, and John Rawlins pooled their talents and resources to create something the likes of which the Delaware marshland had never seen. A combination horse and auto racing facility in the state capital of Dover. By the time they had completed their task, they had a 1-mile oval which immediately laid claim to the title, fastest in the world, as 1968 Indy 500 winner Bobby Unser ran a then blistering 155 miles an hour. To many who followed Unser, though, 3 businessmen's dream turned out to be a driver's nightmare. The track was so demanding it acquired the name the Monster Mile. This track was so tough that when NASCAR first visited, it took a king to slay the 1-mile beast. TNN Motorsports proudly presents live flag-to-flag coverage of the silver anniversary Budweiser 500. Richard Petty, now a car owner, ponders today's fate for his driver Rick Wilson, qualified 5th. Richard knows that time has not dulled the teeth of this monster, and so does the man on the pole for today's race. Yesterday, late in practice, Ernie Irvan slid up to turn 3 and smacked the wall hard. Coming to the garage, Irvan and his crew were faced with a ruined race car and the task of preparing a backup car, thus losing his front row status. The new car has been carefully prepared, but it is still the backup car. It hasn't been practiced, and a lot of questions remain. With more on that story, let's go down to the starting grid. Here's Glenn Jarrett.
Well, you're looking at the backup car of Ernie Irvan. Now, it looks exactly like the other one, and the crew has worked really hard trying to get it to work exactly like the other one. Under NASCAR rules, Ernie can keep the pole under the parade lap, but when the race starts, he's got to go to the back of the field. Ernie, the guys have worked real hard to put this car to make it exactly like the other one. You feel confident it is?
Well, you know, you never know unless you go out there and practice it, but the guys did an excellent job putting this car together. It's the same car we tested at quite a few racetracks, and it's always been a good race car, so you know, there's no doubt in my mind it'll be good. Whether it's as good as the other one's going to be hard to say, because the other one was an awesome race car.
Well, and an awesome driver he is. It's going to be fun to watch him come up from the back of the pack. And now let's meet the man who will bring you today's action in the Budweiser 500, the best play-by-play man in motorsports. He paid me to say that, my buddy Mike Joy.
Was only $1. Well, as Ernie Irvan's the latest to find out, this track is a tire biter, a car buster, and a driver breaker. Yesterday, the Monster Mile snacked on some of the Busch Grand National cars, and rumor has it it's hungry for more today. Who can tell you better about how tough this track is than my 2 broadcast colleagues, Buddy Baker and Neil Bonnet. First, Neil talks to the owner of a team that hasn't been running too well of late.
This team won 5 races in 1992, 4 in a row, just 10 points from winning the national championship. 93, I think everybody expected them to be a contender to win the championship in a lot of races. It hasn't went that way. There's been some problems. Junior, you had a little bit of medical problems early in the year, and that's behind you. Now you're really getting involved with this race team.
Well, that's true, Neil. I kind of fell out of socket there for about 6 weeks, and I made a lot of changes internally in the teams too. Some of the things that just, worked last year just kind of fell apart. I had to put it all back together, and I was out of socket for 6 weeks, so it really got behind it. But right now I'm back into the team, doing a lot of the chassis stuff, getting a lot of that straightened out, and I'm also back in the engine program. So it's going to take us a little time, but we're going to be back where we're supposed to be.
Let me tell you, I've seen this guy work on chassis, and when he gets in that engine department, they start running. If anybody can straighten it out, this man right here can. Let's go down to Buddy Baker.
Neil, I got a real question for Rusty Wallace about today's race. How's your car running for today?
It's running great, buddy. I mean, the thing is really flying. I'm really happy with it, and this is the same car that I was on the pole with at Atlanta, and it's got a wonderful setup in it. I'm really excited about today's race.
We got something even better than that, Neil, to talk about. I'll let Rusty tell his fans out there all about it.
Yeah, I really do. I tell you, the thing that makes me feel so good about the day, I got a great car underneath me, and Dr. Trammell said, hey, Rusty, take the brace off. You don't need it any longer. You're healed up. Go after him. Throw it away.
Well, good luck today. We want you to win the race if you possibly can. And I know you're going to be after that 3 car.
Yeah, you got that right. I got him right in my sights right now, and he's running good, and I am too. Let's just see what happens.
Ironically, it was reportedly oil from Wallace's car that Ernie Irvan slid in that last practice and went up and smacked the wall. Wallace has a new engine in for today's race. The Budweiser 500, an exclusive live presentation of the Nashville Network, is brought to you by Budweiser. Fresh, pure, natural. Proud to be your Bud. By Ford and your local Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car. By Goodyear, #1 in tire. And by Something Better Foam Protectant, the automotive protectant with staying power. In front of the largest crowd ever to witness a sporting event in the state of Delaware, they're getting ready to fire engines here at Dover Downs. We'll be back with all the action of the Budweiser 500.
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning and you always come through. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your bud. Ford trucks, the best, never rest.
Who's the final judge and jury of truck quality? Truck owners. That's why over 14,000 truck owners of every make were asked to judge the quality of their trucks. The verdict? Ford trucks are the best built trucks. It's been that way 12 years running, and that's the way it's going to stay.
The best built, best selling American trucks are built Ford tough.
Man, we're out here to test. Nothing but rain. Hey, where's Mario?
Two champions sharing a winning formula. Haviland Formula 3.
I hear your power is looking good for you this year.
It's unbelievable.
Must run pretty hot in a tight draft, though.
Got that pretty well beat.
Complete professionals who rely on the same complete protection you can buy right off the shelf.
Yeah, I'm wide open all the time.
The only way to do it.
Haviland Formula 3 motor oil from Texaco.
Quit raining, please.
Imagine this is a sidewall of a tire. The whole idea is to keep the tread area in level contact with the road or you'll lose traction, especially in cornering. Now, Goodyear has learned a lot in NASCAR racing and applied that knowledge to Eagle's street radials. In cornering, there's a lot of force trying to lift the tire, but Goodyear Eagle's racing-inspired sidewall design works to hold the tire firmly to the road. Eagle radials, only from Goodyear. We like to say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
Welcome back to Dover Downs. Ernie Irvan sits on the pole where he'll take the pace lap, and then everyone on the inside lane will move up one spot and he'll go to the back. That won't affect the driver on the outside pole or that entire outside lane. Let's meet the man on the front row with Randy Pemberton.
Well, Brett Bodine has been one of the most consistent qualifiers so far this year. 6 times he started inside of position 6, 3 times on the front row, but unfortunately last week the Gremlins got you when you started outside of row 1. You broke early. Brett, what about the Gremlins this week? Can you get rid of them?
Hopefully we've gotten rid of them. The month of May wasn't too good for the Quaker State race team. Hopefully the month of June is going to be the other way around. We're not going to go out and overextend ourselves today. We're going to try to set a nice pace, stay on that lead lap, stay in contention. Dover is notoriously tough on equipment and drivers. Today, I think it's even going to be tougher with the added speeds. Want to say hi to everybody at home? Love you.
Okay, good luck, Brett. Back on row 2 is Glenn Jarrett, who's with Davey Allison.
And Randy Davey is perhaps the man who benefits the most from Ernie Irvan's problems. By qualifying third, he gets to move up into the pole starting slot. Now, Davey's had a little bit of an up and down season. He's got to win 3 other top 5s, but they've all come on short tracks. You got a good chance to turn that around here today.
Well, Glenn, the Texaco Haviland Thunderbird's really been running good in practice. We had a good shot at the pole this week, and I got a little over anxious qualifying, but it looks like we're going to inherit it because of Ernie's predicament. He's got to go to the rear of the field using a backup car. But I'm not sure if I'll know what to do. I'll have a wide open view out there in front of me, and it's been a long time since I've had that view on the start of a race.
Well, I think he'll know what to do. He last won this race in May of 1987 in his rookie year. Of course, not everyone here is facing the concerns of Davey, Ernie, or Bill, or the relief of Rusty. The man driving number 3 is so far pretty much having things his way, as today's Haviland update will amply demonstrate.
They started in daylight and finished in darkness in Charlotte last Sunday. Dale Earnhardt had to overcome not one but two penalties. First, a 15-second penalty for speeding down pit road. Then on lap 328, while lapping the yellow car of Greg Sachs, the two appear to make contact. Sachs goes spinning down the front stretch in a cloud of smoke. Earnhardt goes to the penalty box for one lap. His charge back to the front was aided by a caution flag when Rusty Wallace banged the wall and his wrist. NASCAR had tugged on Superman's cape, Buddy Baker said, and Earnhardt charged his way relentlessly back to the lead and to victory lane, winning the Coke 600 for the second straight year. Coming to Dover, he leads the points over Rusty Wallace, Dale Jarrett, Jeff Bodine, and Kyle Petty. 6 through 10, Davey Allison, Ernie Irvan, Morgan Shepherd, rookie Jeff Gordon, and Kenny Schrader.
Well, Dale Earnhardt, certainly the hottest driver on the tour thus far this season. Dale, not only are you hot, but I watched you in practice yesterday. This car looks pretty good. How good is it going to be in the race?
Well, it's pretty good, but you know we're running at a real fast pace here. The records have been broken qualifying, and practice times have been below the record, so it's really going to be a tough pace today, so we keep the car tuned up. You know, the track's going to change 2 or 3 times through the day, so it's going to be about like running Charlotte and starting of the day and going into the night. The track changes some, so I think we'll be okay.
Not to mention this race is going to be nearly 4.5 hours. Mike Joey?
Well, he sounds pretty happy and pretty confident. He's led the most laps in each of the last 3 NASCAR races. Here's your Sears Die-Hard starting grid, brought to you by the Die-Hard battery, now with more power when you need it most. You've met our front row starters, Ernie Irvan, first pole of the season. Davey Allison, his best starting spot this year, and Rusty Wallace with 4 wins to date. Rick Wilson, 3rd straight top 10 start, and Derek Cope, who won here in 1990. Kyle Petty finished 3rd here last September, and Dale Earnhardt won both Dover races in '89. Mark Martin has 3 runner-up finishes here, and Jeff Bodine, the '86 winner. In row 6, Jimmy Hensley was 8th here last year. Ken Schrader won it in 1991. Harry Gant in row 7 won this year's race in the last laps, and Phil Parsons makes his first start here in 3 years. Row 8, Ricky Rudd, a winner here last September, and Morgan Shepherd with 4 straight top 10s at Dover. Lake Speed had a strong race last week at Charlotte, and Dave Marcus was 2nd here in '82. Bobby Labonte had a fine 8th place run at Charlotte, and Jimmy Spencer finished 2nd at Talladega last month. Jeff Gordon is 3rd fastest overall, but did it 2nd day, so he's 21st next to Sterling Marlin. Rick Mast won a Busch race here in '87. Bill Elliott's a 4-time winner at Dover. Ted Musgrave, 3rd-year driver out of Wisconsin, and Terry Labonte, who finished 2nd here in his championship season, 1984. Greg Sachs makes his 3rd start in the TriStar Motorsports car, and Darrell Waltrip, who last won here back in '82. Dale Jarrett, the Daytona 500 champion. Bobby Hillin, a Talladega winner. Mike Waltrip, the Busch winner here, or at Charlotte last week, and Wally Dallenbach, former Trans Am champion. Bobby Hamilton drives for the new Aiken-Sutton team, and former Dover pole sitter Dick Trickle. Kenny Wallace up from out of the Busch Series, and P.J. Jones makes his 2nd Winston Cup start. Hut Strickland nearly crashed yesterday in qualifying. He'll take a provisional, as will Jimmy Means. The command given, and the engines come to life. Saw first Mark Martin, and here Jeff Gordon from our in-car cameras. The motors are fired. We'll be back with the start of the Budweiser 500 at Dover Down right after these messages.
Most ordinary protectants are runny and messy, but now there's something better. Most ordinary protectants feel greasy and oily, but now there's something better. Most ordinary protectants aren't worth the price. Now there's something better. Something Better, the first foam protectant that does it all. It stays where it's sprayed to give rubber, vinyl, and plastic a clean, natural luster, and it does it all for less. Given a choice, why wouldn't you try something better?
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Red balls of fire! You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. But your love drives a man insane. You broke my will, what a thrill. Isn't it to raise your red balls of fire?
Bosch Platinum, the ultimate spark plug.
Boom! Last Action Hero. What do you think of anyone who doesn't see this movie?
Big mistake.
I love this place! I think it's the biggest movie of the summer. And now when you go to Burger King and order a flame-broiled Whopper with large fries and a medium drink, you get this Last Action Hero animated action cup free. Like him, you can be large and in charge. So see the movie and collect all 4 cups. It's your way right away. I love this place, and I'm going to see the movie.
All-Pro quarterback Dan Marino.
When the game is over and the pain starts, I want 2 things from my pain-relieving rub: fast relief and no odor. So I use Sports Cream, a strong pain-relieving rub that doesn't make me smell like a medicine chest. I just massage in Sports Cream for fast, odor-free relief. Cream or lotion, Sports Cream sure gets my vote for fast relief and no odor.
This is where America gets together. Every weekend throughout America, there is great NASCAR racing.
I wouldn't be anywhere else.
They've rolled the cars on the pace lap here at the Budweiser 500 as you watch high above Dover Downs from our Steel helicopter-mounted camera, brought to you by Steel, manufacturers of chainsaws, string trimmers, and other outdoor equipment. Packed house. That's the new Route 1 on the top left of the picture, the soon-to-be-open superhighway connecting Philadelphia with Lower Delaware. But they won't be running there as fast as they will here. We'll be riding on board today with Mark Martin in the Jack Roush Valvoline Ford. He'll have the standard roof cam mounted inside with a look over his shoulder. And the roof cam right atop the roof, just behind the windshield, giving you an idea of the view that Mark gets. And we'll get that view of Mark, looking astronaut-like there in his full-face helmet and other equipment as we get set to go racing. Rookie Jeff Gordon will be carrying our second in-car camera in the Rick Hendrick Motorsports DuPont Chevrolet. Here's Gordon's race cam mounted inside. Bubba is the name of that car, serial number 2403. And his roof cam will give you a look at the guys behind him. And here's a look at Jeff at work. Getting set to go racing here. There's a look off the rear roof cam of the Pontiac Trans Am safety car. You see upper right Ernie Irvin drifting to the back of the field, where he will start tail end because he had to go to a backup car. Very few clouds anywhere around the Chesapeake Bay, Delaware Bay area. It is 64 degrees, 56% humidity. The wind up on top of the roof closer to about 20 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy and a little bit breezy here. A little cool day out in the grandstand. But about to get pretty hot out on that racetrack as Ernie Irvin takes up his position in the last row.
That's the first laps that car's made at this racetrack. They did not have any practice, so that's the first lap that car's made around this track. Fixing to really give it a test here in a minute.
Now Ernie will keep the pole qualifying money and his shot at that skins game bonus for anybody who can win from the pole, but because it's a backup car, he starts at the rear. The Monster Mile, 24-degree banking into turns, 9 degrees on the straightaways. They're equal length, but it feels, doesn't it, like you're in that corner all day. Pace car is in. Well, who can tame the monster this afternoon? We're about to find out as we're under green. And the 2 Fords up front, Davey Allison and Brett Bodine, go after it in turn 1 with Rusty Wallace in third, Rick Wilson in fourth. Kyle Petty in fifth.
Mike Rusty made a good move at the start of that race. He jumped down on the inside line. They put a brand new motor in his car just a few minutes ago.
Riding with 6th place Mark Martin. Front straightaway.
You know, one nice thing about the wind blowing like it is, you notice there wasn't any debris on the racetrack. It blows it off, so it makes these first laps a little safer.
I'll tell you one thing they're doing here. They are flying. They're running close to 170 miles an hour going down this turn, buddy. Like you talked about, that's Daytona speeds on a 1 mile racetrack.
Yeah, at one time it didn't matter how hard the wind blew, but now, I mean, you can really feel it.
Ernie Irvan biding his time there at the back of the field. He's got all day to get to the front. His concern will be staying on the lead lap as the leaders squirt away. Irvan is a straightaway behind the leading car of Davey Allison.
He'd like to be able to see how that car feels, but if you just take it too easy, before you know it, the leaders will be up on you. The speeds are running here again now.
Moves under Wally Dolleback. Lead change, Brett Bodine. His younger brother Todd won the 200 here yesterday for his 5th career Busch Grand National victory. Older brothers Brett and Jeff in today's race. He took Rusty Wallace with him.
Neil, these high rear spoilers that they run now, that really makes people brave getting off in corners. And, you know, they've really picked up a lot. The tires are not the only reason these cars are running fast.
Yeah, they've got the cars so stable now. They're running so fast through these corners. I think that's a big driver concern. We saw the bracing around their heads. The fatigue has always been bad this track, but the speeds are running now. It's going to wear some of these drivers down.
Dale Earnhardt underneath Rick Wilson. Picks off a spot. Moves Earnhardt up to 4th. And Mark Martin going underneath the STP Pontiac.
I think we're going to see a lot of that. Anytime a driver gets moved to the outside lane, it's going to be hard to hold the other folks off. Looking through the 6 car, there's Earnhardt up under Davey Allison. Well, right up in front of him, coming up the back straightaway.
And Bill Elliott, who started back in 24th position. He, like Dale Jarrett, a little off in qualifying and just trying to pick their way through and sort things out here in the early going.
The chassis has always been critical at this racetrack, and now when you move it up to 170 mile an hour speeds, it's really critical. If you're off a little bit, you're going to be way behind in a hurry. So the guys that are dialed in with the cars, they're going to drive away.
Ernie Irvan has advanced only 6 positions from the tail end of the field.
We're getting a report that Davey Allison's complaining his car is a little bit loose. That's a lot loose here, folks.
When you start off loose?
Yeah.
Kenny Wallace, the Dirt Devil Pontiac, just ahead of Irvan.
You saw Wallace slip a little bit. Irvan tagged him in the rear. They're running so fast through these corners, there's going to be a little bump, and it's unavoidable.
Greg Sachs, Bill Elliott, and Dale Jarrett.
In years past, we've seen these drivers run on the top side of the racetrack, but as fast as they're running now, they're going to have to use that bottom lane. They go on the bottom, and they've got to hold the car down. They can't flirt with that outside wall.
Right down against the paint. In the middle of turns 3 and 4 was Ernie Irvan that time. Mark Martin got up and out of the groove. He was trying to pass Kyle Petty and Rick Wilson. He had passed both of them, but he got up a little high, and it cost him 2 spots.
Yeah, if you get up, it's kind of like up and away. You're not going to come back.
Martin drops back to 5th in the Valvoline Ford of Jack Rouse. 10 laps complete. Only 490 to go here at Dover Downs. We'll be right back.
Monroe introduces road sensing technology. A new breed of Monroe shocks and struts that give you added control. New road sensing shocks and struts, only by Monroe. Designed to adjust automatically to give you added control without sacrificing comfort. Now comfort and control are automatic. New road sensing technology, only by Monroe.
Son of a gun protectant. Nothing works better on your car's leather, vinyl, and rubber. It can turn just about anything into a great-looking car.
Nice car. What, this pile of junk?
Give it the gun with Son of a Gun. And now give your tires a quick kick with one-step tire care.
spark plug that's tested to fire clean for 30,000 miles. Motorcraft. Motorcraft quality parts from Ford.
Saturday live on TNN Motorsports. The Busch season's getting good. And from behind the wheel, it's clear sailing ahead. But nothing lasts forever. Live from Myrtle Beach, Carolina Pride, Budweiser 250. Saturday live on TNN.
15 laps into the Budweiser 500, the Bodine family is going for the sweep. Todd won yesterday, and that green car is the Quaker State Ford, driven by middle brother Brett Bodine. He's out in front of Rusty Wallace, and Dale Earnhardt just went underneath Rusty Wallace to snatch second place.
You know what's crazy about this thing? You run somebody down, and the track is so fast in the corner, if they ever slip, it looks like they just dropped out of the picture. Rusty was leading Dale at this particular part of the track the last lap around.
Ernie Irvan moving up behind Darrell Waltrip, just ahead of Terry Labonte. And he's been moving up along with Bobby Labonte. The Bill Davis car, the Maxwell House Ford, he's been climbing up a few spots.
Well, his progress is good, but he's being very careful. He's got a long ways to go yet.
Let's check with Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Mike, I talked to Tony Glover, the crew chief for Ernie Irvan, and asked him how Ernie said the car felt. He said it really felt good. He really liked the way it felt. Now let's go down to Randy Cruz.
Well, Buddy Parrott and the crew sit here waiting for Rusty Wallace. He's now arrived. Rusty came over the radio and said, I've lost the right front tire. So the right front went down just as Earnhardt was making his move on him to take over second place. They're just going to change right-hand sides and get out of here. Hopefully, well, he'll lose the lap.
12-second pit stop
Negative.
for Rusty Wallace.
Big
Trouble,
wreck.
turn 4. 2 cars, Bill Elliott and Greg Sachs hard up into the wall at turn 4.
Bobby Hillen was also in that deal. He was spinning round and round when I seen him.
First caution of the day comes out at lap 19. Bill Elliott and Junior Johnson's season remains star-crossed.
A lot of fluids running out of that car of Greg Sachs there.
And a tough break for Rusty Wallace, who had pitted just before the caution flag came out and will lose a lap to the field.
Yeah, Mike, just one lap later, and you got in. We see because left car got the toe out, knocked way out on in. The front end's out of line on the car.
Right front's got a good ding in it.
And this one doesn't have a right front anymore.
Mike made the comment of the day yesterday. He called that foot out, not toe out.
Yeah. And that's 2 left feet out.
Yeah, this one got the radiator knocked all back over the engine, busted.
Second week in a row that Greg Sachs has met with the wall.
Looked like the 11 got into Greg Sachs just a little bit there, and both of them spun.
Bobby Hillen just almost missed that. He split right between the two of them and just got tagged a bit.
Saw Darrell Waltrip, some of the other guys do a good job getting slowed down, not getting involved.
Here's another angle.
You see Bill,
well,
up to the left up here, right behind the sign, yeah. Boy, Hillen went right through the middle of it, but he's coming on around.
Who's that? Bobby Labonte, the blue car.
Yeah.
Looked like he tried to miss the 11, but just got a piece of him.
There's
Look at
Ernie
Ernie
Irvan.
Irvan go through there.
Let's see that first angle again, see if we can get a better idea how this got started. No,
A little bit different angle.
Well, you could see that Bill was just behind him, and I'm sure Greg thought he was clear and maybe come down on Bill just a little bit there.
Well,
it's hard to really tell when things like that happen.
What's really hard to do is run off in this corner to 170 and have to deal with 6 inches one way or the other. You're asking these drivers a lot to run at these speeds, and they've been telling us all week it's kind of like a major Bristol. You know, Bristol, we talked about how fast they go there. 1 mile Bristol now.
folks, they did not put sealer on the track surface here at Dover Downs for this race, and thus the corner entry speeds are considerably higher than they were when we were here last September. That's accounting for the quickness of the lap times here and how hard they have to stuff those cars into the corner. Bill Elliott's car under repair. Greg Sachs is about to be towed away. Here's a look at your top 10. .21 laps complete. 7 of Bobby Allison's 85 Winston Cup victories came here at Dover Downs, the first in 1971, driving for Holman Moody. That's the Roger Penske car. But Bobby failed to win here with that team. Allison won twice here with car owner Bud Moore in 78 and 80. And he won 3 times here with Dygaard, sweeping both races in 1983.
It's country music's biggest night. Ricky Van Shelton, George Jones, and Susie Boggess host the TNN Music City News Country Awards. Live Monday night at 8 Eastern, only on TNN. Sit in on this historic recording session. Celebrate the roots of American music with country's living legends. The making of Will the Circle Be Unbroken? On TNN, the Nashville Network, Monday night. What drives Kyle Petty?
I don't know. I've been asked that a million times. Just the competitiveness. One-on-one with a guy, it doesn't make any difference. I want to beat him.
The American Dream. It may not be as far away as you think. Tune in to CNBC June 14th for Achieving the American Dream Week and enter CNBC's Achieving the American Dream sweepstakes. One local winner will win a great cash prize and a chance to win $25,000, a trip for 2 to New York, and a CNBC financial consultation. Enter at your local cable system or write this on a postcard and send it to the address below. The CNBC Achieving the American Dream sweepstakes. Enter today and tune in June 14th.
Special smiles are one of life's pure joys. Sometimes it's your smile. Sometimes it's the smile of others. That's what you give. That's what you get as a volunteer for the Virginia Special Olympics. We need your help for these heroes. Together we win. To volunteer, call 800-932-GOLD. Virginia Special Olympics, celebrating 25 years of special smiles.
We're doing wrong. We got to get it straightened out. There's no doubt there was a lot of hope for these teams, but they're trying to get it sorted out. Let's go down to Randy.
Junior, how bad is it, and what did Bill say?
It's the front end, right front's bent up a little bit. The toe end's knocked off. I don't think it's hurt too bad, but just get the toe end set back where you can drive, it'll probably be all right.
The guys are working hard. You guys can't get any luck.
I know it. We're involved in everything that's going on right now.
Okay, they'll stay with it.
Greg Sack's car being taken back to the garage area. Right front wheel stuffed up under the fender back toward the door. Elliott will come in another time to restring that left or right side this time. There you see Rusty Wallace, who's gone a lap down as a result of a green flag pit stop to change a right front tire.
Mike, people's not used to seeing this. They're just taking, like you say, a string. They'll take a string and pull it down the side and work on it. Let's go back down to Randy.
Well, Neil, that's just right. They're going to take a string. They're doing both sides now. They're going to jack up the right side of the car. I can't quite see it, but they're going to place a little duct tape over there on the damaged part of the right front. But they're calm. They're cool. You know, they're going to get this thing straightened out. This car should run okay. It's difficult to say if it's going to run nearly as good as it was when it was running out there. Now, pits are open, so we expect to see some pit stops here. Guys changing some tires.
Checking the alignment, and Mike Beam on the radio sends Bill back out, so he does not go a lap down to the field.
Guys, what they have to worry about, toe in would be worse than toe out as fast as they're running here. So they have to get that thing pretty close or it'll drive terrible around here.
Well, I tell you, I was talking earlier about talking to Junior Johnson. It seems like when things are going right, you can't do anything wrong. And when you get off the pace, nothing goes right. The frustration of that team has got to be mounting, but there's nothing to do but just keep plugging along at it.
Here's your race leader on pit road, Brett Bodine.
At 35 miles an hour. They're not stopped, folks. They're running 35. That's the limit for today.
Almost everybody. Dale Earnhardt, Kyle Petty, Mark Martin, Davey Allison, Harry Gant, Kenny Schrader, Jeff Bodine, Jimmy Hensley. Morgan Shepherd's in, Lake Speed, Phil Parsons, Bobby Labonte, Ernie Irvin, Terry Labonte, Jimmy Spencer, Jeff Gordon, Derek Cope. It's almost the whole starting lineup. Sterling Marlin. Rick Mast is in. Elliott's back in. Ted Musgrave, Dick Trickle, Terry Labonte and Darrell Waltrip, Dale Jarrett, Bobby Hillen, Mike Waltrip, Gollenbach, Wallace, that's Kenny Wallace, P.J. Jones, who's had a great career in the IMSA cars, Camel GT cars for Dan Gurney, now in the Harry Melling car, making a pit stop in his second Winston Cup start. We're under caution at lap 24. First one of the day. We'll be right back to Dover Downs after this.
Where you see a close encounter, Ford sees a way to make braking safer for you. Where you see a crowded corner, Ford sees ways to make cornering more secure. It's why we race. Every time you see Ford take home another trophy, Ford has seen ways to win something far more important: every driver's confidence. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Why use Valvoline motor oil? It's the #1 choice of Indy 500 chief mechanics, Daytona 500 chief mechanics, NHRA mechanics, and Baja 1000 mechanics. For use in their race cars and in their own cars. Any more questions? People who know use Valvoline.
Want to take it for a spin? Man, do I? No. I mean the street version of my Royal Oak Camaro. It's one of the grand prizes in Royal Oak's championship season sweepstakes. Or you could win a Ranger boat with an Evinrude motor like Orlando's. See the Royal Oak charcoal display for details. I just knew he was going to do that.
TNN Motorsports exclusive live presentation of the Budweiser 500 is brought to you by Napa, because there are no unimportant parts. 25 laps in, and the leader is Dave Marcus. It's the 12th race he has led at Dover. Dave started 18th and had gone up to 10th before the caution. Rest of the leaders pitted. It's the first race Marcus has led since Martinsville in 1991. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Mike, Greg Sachs has come out of the infield care center. And first of all, Greg, are you okay?
I'm fine, Glenn. Yeah, sure am. Just feelings hurt a little bit, but I'm fine otherwise.
What happened out there?
Bill and I just got together going down into turn 3, and it turned me around. You know, once you get together on this high bank at these high speeds, it's about history.
Looked like your car was really running pretty well.
Car was working pretty well. You know, a few cars that slipped up into that outside groove, and we were able to work the bottom and pick up a few spots. You know, the Country Time team has worked real hard this week, and it's a big disappointment to me to be out so early. You know, this is as close as I get to home up in New York, and had a lot of fans down here pulling for us, so pretty disappointing, but we'll have the Country Time Ford back next week at Pocono.
Well, good luck there.
Tough break for Greg Sachs. Our 800 number is open throughout the running of this race. If you have a question for us or for our pit reporters about how this race is going, call it in, 1-800-451-7331. It's a toll-free call. Stephanie and Sheila will take your questions in Nashville and forward them up here to us in the booth.
Rusty Wallace right up under Dave Marcus. This is a chance for him to get back in the lead lap and make up that time he lost on that other stop.
Give a call to Marcus. He was running well, was picking up spots steadily before the caution came out. He did not make a pit stop. And picks up 5 bonus points for leading this race. Green flag. Can Wallace get back on the lead lap? Let's check with Randy.
Well, on the Rusty Wallace car, it was definitely an equalized tire, so you can't run around on that. They did pit. They went a lap down when that caution came out. They pitted again around a wedge in the right rear, one out of the left rear, so he's a little bit tight, and Rusty's back out.
Well, he's got that lap back from Dave Marcus.
Boy, Ricky Rudd's car looked like a thing on ice then. Did you see him back in on that thing switching around?
Look at Marcus up there. I tell you, Marcus is running good, just like you said at the top of the show. He started gaining on these guys, and he didn't just inherit this lead. He's running.
Mark Martin stalking Marcus for the lead. Earnhardt right with him. We'll have a cheer for the independents. Dave Marcus. And that Swanson Frozen Foods Chevrolet picked up sponsorship from them for this race. Riding with Mark Martin behind Harry Gant now. Martin dropping back. Ricky Rudd pulls alongside. Watch for Rudd come up on the left side. There he goes. Ooh, and Brett Bodine.
Then you got to get there and close the door as quick as you can. There's some more coming.
Bill Elliott restarted tail end of the field. Picking up a couple of spots here as he tries to get back toward the front.
Let me tell you what, Dave Marcus, we see him right here. He's leading the race. He's as tough a guy as you'll ever come up to the racetrack, right, buddy, to pass. If his car's running, he'll lay in there with you now.
Now, I'm telling you, if he'd have stopped and got tires, that was kind of a risky move on his part because his car is running well enough to be with his front cars. But I think not taking on new tires might hurt him a little bit.
Dale Earnhardt now behind Marcus. 3 Chevrolets up front. Marcus, a winner at Talladega for Harry Hyde, a winner at Richmond. He's had a couple of Winston Cup victories, does most of the testing for the IROC series. Talented veteran. And here comes Earnhardt.
Look up right behind Earnhardt there. You can count on Harry again. I think he owns stock in this place or something.
Just in the high groove.
When you come to Dover, you're going to deal with Gant.
Yep.
The two of them are trying to work around the outside of Marcus. Now, Marcus is going to race him. Earnhardt cleared him now. Harry's out there. Now, that's Harry's groove, but he didn't want to be there, folks.
Nope. Brett Bodine gets a spot, and Ricky Rudd may. Nope. They're side by side.
When you get up on that part of the track this early in the race, you just kind of stop, throw out the anchor, and restart.
New leader, Dale Earnhardt. He got under Dave Marcus. Now Sterling Marlin, who is underneath Harry Gant. Marlin in the 8 car, the Rebestos Ford. Yesterday, the Stavola brothers, who own that car, had a horse in the Belmont Stakes, Virginia Rapids. It finished 5th, out of the money.
Not quite rapid enough.
Didn't get a good start. Sterling's done better so far.
We got Rusty up there in first right now, and Dale trying. He's in the lead, but I tell you, he'd like to put Rusty a lap down. There's a big.
Well, Jeff Gordon wrecking on the back straightaway.
3 or 4 cars involved. There's Davey Allison, a bunch of guys trying to avoid him. Gant's car going around.
Yeah, Gant was right in it with Jeff Gordon. That wreck started at the exit of turn 2 and didn't finish until about the middle of turn 3. Harry hit the wall and then came off it into Jeff Gordon, we understand.
Well, we saw Harry get pinned in that outside lane, and he was stuck out there for a long time. That might be where the problem came from.
Oh, me.
That's going to be a little bit worse right there.
Now he's got to stay out on the racetrack because the pit's entry is closed on the first lap of caution. He's not doing that suspension any good.
He'd be better off to go on in and get that thing fixed, take a penalty. He's dragging off some valuable stuff right there.
Then they come up off the corner. Gant was right up. Oh, me. Gant was on the outside. It looked like he might have got in the wall. It was hard to tell. Coming right down. Boy, look at Kyle Petty.
I can't believe it.
That's about as close as you'll get without hitting somebody. There's Davey Allison coming through.
He's about stopped.
And there's Gant coming back up on track. He almost got him again, so I blocked the brakes up.
That cost Davey about 10 spots.
And a set of tires. He'll have to put some tires on. He smoked them pretty hard stopping.
Rusty did make up that lap. He's back in the lead lap again.
Good point. And here's Jeff Gordon leading the chase for the Max Race Cards Rookie of the Year honors. Ray Evernham and crew are going to have some work to do.
I'm sure Jeff Gordon was looking forward to this race. His car's been running good. But now you come in and they're going to put it back together, and then you just got 440 more laps to go. So it's going to be a long day with it torn up.
Well, the bad part there, he drug those header pipes all the way around, and that thing's going to have a lot of fumes in it the rest of the day.
Looks like they're going to try to fix it back in the garage area.
Yeah, when you have that much surgery to do, you take it to the operating room. It's not going to fix it behind pit road. They got a lot of work to do. As Buddy said, the headers, the oil pan, there's so many critical pieces under there that you can destroy. Yeah, that's
when your car sounds like this. Here's Glenn Jarrett.
Well, we're down in the Skull Bandit pit. Harry Gant has brought the 33 Chevrolet in. There's a lot of damage to the left front, but it appears to be only cosmetic and sheet metal. They went to the right side, changed right side tires first. Now they're working on that left front. They're going to pull it off and check and see if there is any suspension damage there. They've got the big hammer out there, so if there's anything wrong there, they'll work on it.
One thing you got to remember, too, the oil cooler and all is right there on that left front, so we'll have to wait and see if he had any. No, it looks dry behind there. Looks good.
Doesn't look very aerodynamic. No. Let's show you another look at this from inside Jeff Gordon's car.
Coming up There's Gant right there on the outside. This is down the front straightaway. It happened to turn. Okay, there's Gordon up under Gant. See Harry on the outside.
Oh, now we see what happened.
Clearly.
Jeff Gordon thought he was by and pulled over into Harry Gant. Turned himself into the wall.
Looked like Gant might have been as far as he could get up against the wall. It's kind of a blind spot coming off these corners. That's a tough part of this track, pulling up there, not knowing exactly where that guy's at on your right side.
Thanks to Peter Larson and the BST folks. Nice angle, nice replay. Peter's a new dad. Congratulations.
Yeah, I tell you, that was quite a shot. That told the story.
Certainly did. So Jeff Gordon goes to the garage for continued repairs. We are 37 laps into this race. Here's a look at your top 10. David Pearson scored 5 of his 105 career Winston Cup victories here on the Monster Mile. He won his first 3 starts with the Wood Brothers here in '72, the sweep in '73. Wood Brothers salute another win by the Silver Fox. And here he passes a young Darrell Waltrip in the number 88 Dyguard Chevrolet as Dover celebrates its silver anniversary.
The time has finally come for the cordless power roller from Wagner. Now you control the flow of paint, so the Wagner power roller can cut jobs in half. Smoothly and evenly, it can cover areas twice as fast, and cleanup is a snap, so you can finish one job and do another. Get your hands on a real value, because the value of Wagner keeps on rolling.
Starting cost you to race in this business.
The winningest battery at NASCAR isn't a special racing battery.
I have well over 600 NASCAR starts with a Die-Hard battery.
It's exactly the same battery you can buy for your car at Sears.
You have to be crazy to come out here without a Die-Hard.
Sears Die-Hard, the official battery of NASCAR.
I have never had a failure on the starting line yet.
You can count on me.
Die-Hard. More power when you need it most.
John, how you doing? You know, AutoZone customers are pretty special. I mean, they take great pains in doing a job just right. So they know exactly what they want. That's why we carry so many parts. And also why we price them so low every day of the week. Because you gotta admire a guy who'll tackle a job like putting in a starter, a water pump, a rack and pinion. And you gotta give a guy like that exactly what he wants. The right parts and the right price.
Honey, let's go for broke.
Whitey Harrison doesn't believe in the word old.
I've been surfing since 1927.
Maybe that's why he uses Armor All Protectant on his dash, seats, and even his tires. In minutes, Armor All helps protect them from fading and aging.
Without this stuff in your car, it's like surfing naked.
Armor All, there is a fountain of youth, and now we guarantee it. If your new car dash ever cracks, we'll replace it. Guaranteed.
We've just gone back to green at lap 39. You're riding with Mark Martin. He's the 4th place car. Chasing Dale Earnhardt, Dave Marcus, and Brett Bodine.
I tell you what, Dave Marcus, Earnhardt jumping, got a good start. Let me tell you, Marcus is coming right back up there. As good as he's ran all year long.
Qualified in the top 20 here first day. New sponsor for the weekend, Swanson Frozen Foods, wants to make a good showing. He's doing it.
Big difference when you buy your tires, you know.
Here's Randy Pemberton.
Well, the crew's working on the car in the right front. Gordon sits patiently inside. Definitely got a towing problem. They've torn away the sheet metal on the right front. They had the hood down at one particular time, all set to go back out. Oh, now they're coming around with the jack stands. They may very well put it back up, but it's very difficult to get in and talk to Jeff right for the time being. Let me get a quick word with him. No, they're going to put the window down. I'm going to let him go, guys.
Thanks, Randy. Jeff Gordon came in here 9th in the Winston Cup points and leading the rookie chase. Dave Marcus, one of the toughest guys to pass on this or any racetrack, sits in 2nd spot.
Well, he has a tremendous amount of short track experience, and he's a hard-nosed race car driver.
We see the 26. We're looking out of the 6 car, looking at the 26 of Brett Bodine. He's tried Marcus several different places. Still hasn't been able to get around him, and that's the outside pole guy trying to get around Marcus, and Marcus holding him off.
Dave has 5 Winston Cup victories, 2 at Talladega. He's won at Atlanta, at Richmond, and Martinsville. Last win came 1982 at Richmond in his own car. Here goes Brett Bodine after him. I don't know.
Yeah, he got him.
Got him that time.
Now Marcus is going to look for an opening to jump back to the inside. He said, let me get in behind this 6 car. When you get shoved out the outside, you're just looking for a place to get back in.
See Ernie Irvan about mid-pack, trying to move up through in the Kodak car underneath Rick Wilson. He's up to 11.
The car's running good. He was concerned. Oh, 3 deep.
Rick.
Oh, Rick just got squeezed out of that sandwich with Morgan Shepherd and Derek Cope.
Somebody had to give, and it didn't really matter who it was, as long as somebody backed off.
He was about to become a new menu feature at Bojangles, I think, there. In fact, Morgan Shepherd has dropped from the pace. Falling right back out of that group. Irvan moving up on Jeff Bodine.
You know, earlier we heard that problem with the 2 car. It was a flat tire. Tire was cut or either out of balance. So, you know, they were concerned about tires at this high rate of speed. Looks like they're going to be okay. You can actually see these cars when they go in the corner. You can see them put a black strip down. No different than spinning your wheels on pavement. They actually pull the rubber off the corner. They run so fast.
Yeah, you don't need an infrared camera. You can just see the rubber get laid down.
You know, Neil, everybody wants to know how that 4-car without any practice runs like that. Well, they keep a dictionary on everything they do as far as how the setup is and everything. So they made that car exactly like the one they tore up, except, you know, just maybe 5 pounds here or there.
I think the biggest thing that's come along that's helped these guys is they have 4 individual scales they put under the wheel. If that other car weighed 812 pounds on the left rear, the right front weighed 915, this car weighs the same. They can get the car where it weighs exactly the same thing, all 4 wheels, and it should drive the same.
Jeff Bodine, Rick Wilson, and here's Rusty Wallace moving up on Bobby Hillman in the Heilig Myers car, having come from the back of the pack after making up his lap under green. Here's Randy.
Well, Bill Elliott's patiently sitting in here. He's not too thrilled about this, but Bill, what happened? All right, he can hear me. They're getting ready to set the toe in here. Bill's working on the steering, trying to set the toe in. These guys are thrashing in here, fellas.
Thanks, Randy. We'll get back to you if there's further news there. But Elliott's car is in the garage area, and apparently they're having to replace some of the suspension components to straighten it out. Up front, Brett Bodine's got it straightened out. I think little brother showed him up yesterday when Todd won that 200.
I think the Bodine might have some of Harry Gant's money in this thing, too. I tell you what, they all run well here.
Once Bodine was able to get around Dave Marcus, he really closed in on Earnhardt. Now he's climbing all over the back of his car. Looks real strong.
And Mark Martin coming right up into the picture in 3rd. Martin, 3 second-place finishes here. Still looking for victory lane.
There's those strips we're talking about. You can actually see the tires go in the corner, just rip the rubber off, put black patches all the way through the corner. So I mean, they're working them hard.
How did this track drive different when they would seal it before the race?
They actually sealed the track to preserve it during the winter months. It's so rough up here in this part of the country, and it wouldn't adhere as good. The tires would slip around. Now the sealer is gone. It's like running on sandpaper. It really gets a bite on that tire.
Ernie Irvan moves up past Ricky Rudd, gains another spot. He's up to 9th. Glenn?
Well, it didn't take Ernie long, as you said, Mike. He's up to 9th. Tony, looks like you guys hit the setup right on the nose.
Well, you know, the other car was running really well, and I tell you, these guys did a tremendous job of putting this backup car together. And right now, Ernie's doing a heck of a job driving. And I believe before the day's over, we'll get a good day.
What is he saying about the car? He's got to like it.
He said it's pretty good. He said it's almost a carbon copy of the other cars, and he's pretty pleased with it right now.
Well, if it's a carbon copy of the other car, the rest of the field's in trouble because he was a 1/4 second faster in that car.
He was yesterday in practice, Glenn. That's true. 2nd place has changed hands. Mark Martin has moved up past Brett Bodine. And now we're back somewhere with the Stavola car, Sterling Marlin, and Jimmy Spencer. This battle is for 6th spot.
You know, Buddy, you mentioned earlier on that pit stop, everybody was making chassis adjustments. Some of these guys hit them, but everybody went to those back windows, didn't they?
They'll have to work on them because it's cooler than it was yesterday when they did their final preparations for this race. You see Ernie Irvin moving right back in the fray here. He's moving all the way up to 6th place here.
And just ahead of them, one car we haven't mentioned in that top pack is Kyle Petty. He's climbed up to 4th, going past Dave Marcus here. So Earnhardt's the leader. Mark Martin is 2nd. Brett Bodine now 3rd. Kyle Petty 4th. Dave Marcus is 5th, ahead of Marlin, Spencer, and Irvin. We'll be right back.
When 280 seemed out of reach, it's Joe Amato and Autolite who punch it. The wall goes to 290. Connie Coletta and Autolite smash it. 300, the barrier. Kenny Bernstein and Autolite shatter it. Autolite and the record breakers. Wow, I feel good. We feel pretty good about that.
This is your world, genuine and true, working together in all that you do, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
Nice to have you over here in the States.
The incredible thing is the different concept on ovals, and some people just can't get it right.
4 champions sharing a winning formula. Haviland Formula 3.
You got to stay flat out.
Sounds rather appealing.
Well, it is if you win.
Complete professionals who rely on the same complete protection you can buy right off the shelf.
I'm wide open all the time. Hey, only way to do it.
Haviland Formula 3 motor oil from Texaco.
Why do you go anti-clockwise?
You're in a foreign country, boy.
Introducing KFC Hickory Wings. Tender fried wing pieces brushed with a hickory mesquite-flavored sauce. A taste enjoyed by great outdoorsmen. And not so great. New KFC Hickory-flavored wings.
We do chicken right.
Athlete's Foot. Every year, over 28 million Americans get it. Try NP27. Its doctor-recommended ingredient stops burning and itching fast. NP27. Nothing's a better cure for Athlete's Foot.
On the shores of Delaware Bay. Scenic beauty of the state of Delaware. Can't compare to the scenic action we're getting right now. Here at Dover Downs, 62 laps complete. And that is the difference from 1st to 2nd place. It is the Winston Park Tour.
This shot right here shows how fast these cars are running around here. I'll tell you what. I've raced here, and I've never seen a racetrack where you went down the straightaway that fast. Especially here, Neil, they should be slowing down. The times are as fast as they were at the first part of the race.
That's what's amazing. They're running qualifying speeds. There's Jeff Gordon back out of the pits, but they're running the same speeds that they qualified. Very few racetracks we go to, they can maintain that pace. And I'll tell you what, it's going to take some wear and tear on these race cars.
You'd think this was a 100-lap feature.
It is.
Just 5 of them, right?
And then 100, and another 100, and another 100. These guys came to race. See Mark Martin. They came up on traffic. Earnhardt moved out a little bit. Mark saw the door open. He's going to try to get in there. You go around these lap cars, man, it takes you some time. See the distance he lost right here? But Mark's car has really been able to get down in the corner good.
See how he gains on Earnhardt going into the corner.
Well, he got caught on that lap car. Boy, and I tell you, it's just like you just can't dive in there on that outside. You're going for a good little ride if you do.
Mike, I was talking to Richard Childress yesterday, and they're really concerned about the valve train and all in these cars because they're running so much faster, and they got to have the gear to get through traffic. They're afraid they're going to tear the motors up. They're turning 8,700 to 8,800 down the straightaway here.
But how many points a gear did they drop back because the surface is so good going into the corner, so they wouldn't overrev the motor?
That was the problem. They changed and went back in gear, and they actually got faster. So it was a deal where they still turned the same thing with more gear.
Wow.
They usually pull like a 411 or 422 and stuff like that. And these guys have been backing the gears down. And the motors, they've got the motors so strong now, they're able to pull them tall gears. And I think that's one way, like Bud comment, we're seeing bigger speed numbers just because they put those tall gears in.
Here's Brett Bodine coming up right under the rear spoiler of Mark Martin. In 1989, Earnhardt won both races here. Mark Martin finished second in both those races by a total of 0.8 of a second for both races total.
Blew him away.
Yeah, right. You don't get much closer to victory lane than that and not get there. 67 laps complete. Rusty Wallace up to 17th position. After getting back on the lead lap, green flag pit stop for an equalized tire. Got his lap back on a restart. Earnhardt slips way up the racetrack and out of the lead. Car just shot up the racetrack. He gathered it back in. He's in trouble.
He's got a problem with the car. I don't know what
He's got probably a tire problem because he's coming in immediately. When it does that, it's time to come. Something's fixing to happen.
First Wallace and now Earnhardt.
See if we can see if the tire's down. It's hard to see anything with a tire.
That moves Ernie Irvan up to 5th. All right, Earnhardt's in. Randy Pemberton is there. Randy?
Well, they haven't said exactly what it is, but obviously it is tires. He had one going down. They went to the right side. Left side lug nuts being loosened. Going to be a 4-tire stop, no question about it. 1 lap down already. And here at the pit stop, it's Dover, even 17 seconds. As quick as they get around this track, he'll be likely nearly 2 laps down when he gets back to the speed. Dale is down and away.
Saw the NASCAR officials counting the number of men over the wall. 19.6 seconds for 4 tires under green. 35 miles an hour down pit road. You lose a lot of time that way when everybody else is going 150. Jeff Gordon back in the pits as Earnhardt comes out. And there's your lead battle. Now it's 2 Fords in the front of the field. Mark Martin and Brett Bodine. Bodine's going to try him on the high side and make it work.
It was the right front tire on Earnhardt's car. We just the reporter called me up and told me that.
Said it was flat. Not cut, just flat. They're not sure what caused it. I tell you, they're going to work these things to death as hard as they're running these corners. They might not be the only ones of those we see.
What has happened to Mark Martin? Brett Bodine is driving away, and there is the puncture on Dale Earnhardt's tire.
They're checking right now to see, exactly how much air is out of the tire.
And meanwhile, Brett Bodine is driving away from this field, away from Mark Martin, from Kyle Petty, Dave Marcus, and Ernie Irvan, your top 5. 73 laps complete here at Dover Downs. We'll be right back.
Saturday live on TNN Motorsports. The Busch season's getting good. And from behind the wheel, it's clear sailing ahead. But nothing lasts forever. Live from Myrtle Beach, Carolina Pride, Budweiser 250. Saturday live on TNN.
Roads golfers, don't miss your chance to take a swing at cystic fibrosis at the Contel Cellulars annual Williamsburg Golf Classic on June the 7th at Two Rivers Country Club. The day includes this area's best golf, plenty of fun and prizes. A 19th hole reception with great food and a fabulous auction will complete this day of excellent golf. Sponsored by Contel Cellular, WFOG 92.9, and American Airlines. For information, call 1-800-572-3213. Let's make the 1990s a decade of the cure.
Special smiles are one of life's pure joys. Sometimes it's your smile. Sometimes it's the smile of others. That's what you get back when you contribute to the Virginia Special Olympics. We need your help for these heroes. Together we win. To contribute, call 800-932-GOLD. Virginia Special Olympics, celebrating 25 years of special smiles.
78 laps complete, and we pick up kind of where we left off, unless yesterday's GM Goodwrench Delco Battery 200 with a Bodine in front. Todd Bodine won that race. Brett started on the outside pole here today and has the lead here in 78 laps. 1-800-451-7331, our toll-free number. If you have questions for us up here in the booth, we'll try to incorporate them into the commentary, pass some along down on pit road to get answered. And any questions we can't use, we'll pass along to Inside Winston Cup Racing.
It looked like Mark Martin's dropping off now, and here comes Kyle Petty coming up on him real fast here. I wonder if he's having a tire problem or something.
We'll get word from his pits in a minute. Martin has held on to second place, but it's almost as if he waved Brett Bodine past. Brett jumped out to a big lead.
I almost start second guessing, Mike. You know, we had two of the lead cars, the 2-car of Rusty Wallace. Then Earnhardt had a problem with the tire. Maybe they say, hey, let's back this thing down. We got a long way to go. Let's see if there's something in the works there. It might just be a coincidence, but when you start seeing a couple of leaders come in with real fast cars, then the other guys might get a little bit cautious.
Good point. There's Kyle Petty chasing Mark Martin. Martin is the second place car. Here's Glenn Jarrett in his pit.
Steve Mark seems to have slowed a little. What's the problem?
Oh, we were just concerned about what happened to Earnhardt. He had a flat. We thought he may have blistered a tire. We went and looked at Earnhardt's stuff. It looks good. We're just going to ride a while, see what happens. We got a long ways to go, but we're in good shape.
Well, that's pretty good strategy. 500 miles is a long way to go here. Nothing really wrong. They're just cooling it.
Martin moves past the lap car. Kyle Petty tracking him down. Let's go to Randy.
Well, guys, every team sent a member of that team down here to check out this tire. Right now, they're thinking it's a cut tire. They pumped it up. The Goodyear official had his hands all over it, trying to find the leak. But there's no question about it. These teams are very concerned about these tires. I really don't think it's a problem. They've cut two down, and right now we've got remember the mellow yellow crew down here looking at it. They're just concerned that it's going to happen to them. So right now, it's known as a cut tire. They can't find it.
Neil, that looked like a tire that might be graining up. Did you notice that?
Yeah, let me tell you, that's just standard saying in the garage, cut tire. It might blow half into her, it might have 5 nails in it. You always say, I cut a tire. So right now, I'm sure that everybody's having an autopsy on that little unit to see what's wrong with it.
And see if it might be happening to them. Now, this is pretty much the same, I believe the same compound Goodyear brought here last time. However, since they did not seal the racetrack, the speeds here have gone up in the corners dramatically.
There's no way to tell anybody, buddy, how much you lean on a tire at this racetrack.
Well, it don't seem to be bothering Kyle Petty in it at all. He just passed the 6th car, and he's really moving on up through there. So they must be pretty confident their chassis is pretty good.
They are 1.8 seconds behind race leader Brett Bodine.
Mike, I remember one time we were here to run about 30 laps, and the tires would explode. And they'd call me and say 27, 28, 29, you'd back off. Because it was kind of like time bombs.
Here's your Napa Field standing update brought to you by Napa, because there are no unimportant parts.
This is the deal here where you want the other guy to be the guinea pig. Let him run out there and see what's going on.
One of our phone-in questions is whether they might run restrictor plates here, the way the speeds are getting up.
I don't think so. I think they'll work more on the setups and also on the tires for this place.
Let me tell you, when you start mentioning restrictor plates, you got to keep in mind, yesterday at the Busch race, they ran 6 cylinders and ran virtually the same speed. The tire combination they have now in these race cars, as good as they drive, I don't know how you could restrict it more than having 6 cylinders, and they ran almost the same speeds.
Here's Earnhardt moving back up through the field. Remember, he is a lap down to the race leaders, currently in 33rd position after making that green flag pit stop for 4 tires.
This is when this bunch is saying, hey, I hope this thing goes green, let everybody else make their stops, and everybody else just soon see the caution come out.
We've had a question called in. Let me explain this for some of our newer fans, how you get a lap down. You get a lap down when the leader goes by you, whether you're on the racetrack or whether you're in the pits. The leader has completed 1 more lap than you have, so you are 1 lap down to the leader. You have to pass the race leader to get that lap back. And under a caution flag for the restart, the car's a lap down, pull up in another lane next to the cars in the lead lap, and if you pass him, you get your lap back. Now there's 33 ahead of Earnhardt, Harry Gant. And of course, he's a lap plus that distance ahead of Dale.
Only thing I can tell you, if there's ever a place where you had an opportunity to get a lap back, it is here.
Yeah.
Because we're going to race all day.
29 cars are on the lead lap.
See Gant with his car, a lot of damage to it. Must have slowed him down some.
Richard from California calls in, wants to know if the drivers get pain pills after they wreck, and can they race after they take these? I know they keep about a 55-gallon drum of Goody's headache powder, down there in the garage area. And if you hit the wall, you do have to come to the care center for a checkup. If they release you and you're okay and the car can be fixed, you can't go back in the race. Here's Dave Marcus, the Swanson Frozen Foods car. This is his first pit stop of the day. It comes under green at lap 91.
This is Marcus's scheduled stop. He didn't stop. It's 91 laps now. 100 is about what you want to go, so he just right stay down. Yeah, they're graining them up. I mean, there's a lot of wear on them. But I'm telling you, going through these corners so fast, it's amazing anything to stay on.
4-tire change for Dave Marcus.
A good example, this is the very same tire that was ran in Charlotte last week. That's a mile and a half, and this is a 1-mile track. Tells you how much tire wear there is here.
Marcus back in the race at lap 92. He goes 1 lap down on the green flag pit stop. Brett Bodine continues to sail along in that Quaker State Ford with the lead, but in traffic, Kyle Petty has caught him.
Yeah, he's been reeling him in the whole time, and it looked like that car is really handling a lot better than anything on the racetrack. This looked like he's in Rockingham. You know how Kyle runs there.
Tracks are the same distance, but very different in configuration and how you run them. At 93 laps, Bodine and Petty. Here's the rest of your top 10 back through Darrell Waltrip. He snuck into the top 10 there. As Dover celebrates its silver anniversary, a gleaming trophy signifies success. Cale Yarborough's had a lot of success here. He won 3 times in a 4-year span. His success was unmatched with car owner Junior Johnson, 3 straight Winston Cup titles. Often Cale roared from deep in the pack to win, here passing Benny Parsons, going up on the high side. Like in 74 when he passed Richard Petty rather, in the final 3 laps to win.
Why use Valvoline motor oil? It's the #1 choice of Indy 500 chief mechanics, Daytona 500 chief mechanics, NHRA mechanics, and Baja 1000 mechanics. For use in their race cars and in their own cars. Any more questions? People who know use Valvoline.
With its cool new look and refreshing new lines, the new Ford Ranger Splash is the first and only compact flare side, the 1993 Ford Ranger Splash. Start making some waves.
My truck has 99,000 miles on it, and it's like a brand new engine.
America is talking about split fire.
I feel like I have a new engine.
No hesitation. You hit your passing gear, you're gone. Right now.
Split fire won a United States patent. It doesn't look like any other spark plug. It doesn't work like any other spark plug.
I love them. I have them on my motorcycle, my boat, and my car.
Love them. Love them.
Split fire. At $5.99, America knows it only costs more till you use it.
I can say I've saved at least $3 to $4 a week.
I use lower octane now. It seems like it runs like I had the premium in there.
I'm probably getting, I would say about 20 miles more per tank full, and that's a lot for me.
They'll pay for themselves basically in the first 6 months you own them.
Split fire. It only costs more till you use it.
Get guaranteed split fire savings at leading automotive stores from coast to coast.
The Nashville Network's exclusive coverage of the Budweiser 500 is being brought to you by Split Fire, the patented performance spark plug. It'll only cost more till you use it. 101 laps come up on the board. Brett Bodine leading Kyle Petty, Mark Martin, Ernie Irvin, and Jimmy Spencer. In the pit spot as Morgan Shepherd makes a pit stop in the Wood Brothers Citgo 4. Nobody's repeated here in the last 7 years. 7 races, 7 different winners. Will we see number 8 today? Jimmy Spencer, the 5th place car, makes a pit stop. The Bobby Allison Meineke Mufflers Tic Tac Ford. And there are your leaders. How many RPMs would you guess they're turning?
I know. I talked to everybody. 8,800 down the far end of the straightaway. That's just too much.
Let me tell you what, that 42 car, I was down to the garage. Here he goes right around the outside. 26 must be coming down pit road. 26 coming. How many times have we seen the leaders come in? get the lead in the thing, you had to head to the pits. But as we were talking about Kyle Petty's car, has got a tremendous gear in it. He's turning a ton RPM.
Brett Bodine on pit road. Glenn Jarrett is in his pit. Glenn?
And very slowly Brett moves the Quaker State Ford in. These guys are really watching that speed limit. Jimmy Spears has just got penalized because he came in too fast. The right side is up, but this should be a 4-tire change. They're loosening the left side lug nuts now. Everything going as scheduled. They're already around working on the left side now. It's going up. So looks like a pretty good pit stop so far. But the one thing I can't impress enough is how terribly snail-like slow these guys have to leave it.
35 miles an hour.
I'll tell you how critical that pit situation is. I saw Larry McReynolds and Davey Allison out there with measuring tapes. Measure from one pit down the other. They're trying to calculate if you come in fast or if you leave quick.
Trouble turn 2. Phil Parsons hard into the wall.
Boy, what about Bodine? Just stopped. Bodine stopped, and then it comes out, cost him.
Now, Brett Bodine will likely have lost a lap to the leader. As Phil Parsons' car is down against the apron, out of turn 2. He's moving around in the car, and he has smacked that wall a ton. He hit it so hard that car didn't even keep wrecking down to turn 3. Here it is.
Sideways, way back up in the corner. 3 abreast of them, like you see 2 of them side by side. He smacked it, just like you said, right back across the track. Wham! We're not going to see any easy wrecks today, folks. They're going so fast around this track, it's going to tear some equipment up.
And he couldn't get stopped for the inside wall because you'll see it looked like he tore the front brakes out of it. The car's rolling down there. The front wheels won't lock.
Wow, he hit that outside wall so hard all 4 wheels come off the ground. That is a lick.
Phil had a good run here yesterday in the 200. Short day today. Getting unbuckled. About to climb out. That was a pretty paint job. Caution flag out for the 3rd time today at lap 107 for Phil Parsons. Kyle Petty is the leader as they come to the pits. And Steel Outdoor Equipment, as good as you thought, priced less than you think. Gives us these shots from the helicopter. As you look at 3 of the leaders down coming to pit road.
That's not slow motion. That's just like Glenn said, look how slow. But they do that because the pits are so short and so crowded. 35-mile-an-hour speed limit.
Really doesn't hurt you when you pit under caution, but pitting under green, you're right, that seems awfully slow when everybody else is running 150. Mark Martin's crew at work. Ricky Rudds.
This is going to be the first gauge. Each team has to look at its own tires. They were using other teams' gauge of tire wear. Now they can use their own equipment to see what they have.
Mark with a look to the right and a look in the mirror as he pulls out. Just clears Kyle Petty's car. He'll be the race leader, or rather he'll be the leader among the cars that pitted. There may have been some that stayed out.
They gave them 4 more feet in each pit this race. They've got 4 more foot of room in each pit, so it helps them a little bit.
I tell you what, Tony Glover and those guys really had a pit stop on that 4-car then. He's riding back up in the front again.
So pit stops under yellow in the Budweiser 500. We'll be right back to Dover Downs right after this.
What's so daring about Prism car polish? It's not how you put it on, but how you take it off.
Prism Car Polish, the first and only spray-away approach to car polishing. Just wipe it on and spray it off. And in half the time, you get a durable shine. No huffing, no puffing, no buffing. Prism, the spray-away car polish.
Presenting the Ryobi Detail Sander. It gets into all those small, tight spaces where other sanders can't reach. And with special add-on accessories that also prepares surfaces for painting, scrapes paint and adhesive off glass, wood, and metal. Even polishes and buffs to a brilliant finish. In fact, you can use the Ryobi Detail Sander any place your imagination takes you.
Why use Valvoline Motor Oil? For their race cars and their own cars, Valvoline is the #1 choice of race mechanics, from Indy 500 to Daytona 500 to NHRA to Baja to SCCA.
The best defense is not to offend. Thus, introducing the new Right Guard Sports Stick. Now with a time-release formula for longer-lasting protection against hostile odor all day. For protection that endures.
Just offshore in Delaware Bay, crabbing. Popular way to make a living, and it sure provides for a tasty meal. We're under caution here at Dover Downs in the Budweiser 500, 109 laps complete. Let's get a word with Ernie Irvin in the Kodak Chevrolet. Ernie, this is Mike Joy with TNN. How's that backup car working for you today?
I tell you, the guys did a great job. The car's handling pretty good, and we just got a little bit of a push, but I think we're in pretty good shape.
Okay, Irvin cranking along there. Was up among the top 5 when they made that pit stop. He will restart in 2nd place.
I tell you what, they did do a good job, you know, to take a car out of the truck. You always go with your strong hand. They had their best car for the race. They lost it. Boy, this one's not bad.
The way they're running after pit stops: Mark Martin, Ernie Irvin, Kyle Petty, Ricky Rudd up to 4th, and Darrell Waltrip in the 5th spot. Now, Jimmy Spencer, when he made his pit stop, was a little too fast down pit road. He had to come back in and is now 2 laps down. Never forgotten NASCAR hero, Ellen Boyd. That's the truth. He is missed.
I tell you, it still brings a lump in your throat every time you think of it. It's just hard to believe it's not here.
Jimmy Hensley doing a good job in that car today. He's on the lead lap, 16th position. 109 laps complete as they clean up from Phil Parsons' accident in the backstretch. As we celebrate the silver anniversary here at Dover Downs, sometimes the Monster Mile gained the upper hand. As it did with a young Buddy Baker, a 2-time pole winner here. Never captured a 500-miler. Face-to-face discussion on a pit stop with the Bud Moore crew. Nice hat, buddy. I'm glad you changed that one for one that says TNN on it.
This all-surface vehicle goes wherever it wants to. These all-purpose vehicles go wherever you want to. When you're on Goodyear Wrangler GSA all-surface radials with triple traction, you get an area for quiet highway traction, for wet weather traction, and for rugged off-road traction from Goodyear. Wherever you drive, off the road, down the highway, wet or dry, try a set of all-surface Goodyear Wranglers. You'll know why we like to say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
From the days when they ripped through the sands of Daytona to tracks like Talladega and Darlington, racing fans have had a love affair with the drivers. To commemorate these heroes, Country Time presents our new Collector Series, featuring Kowicki, Gant, Shepard, Hamilton, Jarrett, and Darrell Waltrip. What better way to salute the men who risk it all on the Speedway and the fans who make it all worthwhile?
Why use Valvoline Motor Oil? It's the #1 choice of Indy 500 chief mechanics, Daytona 500 chief mechanics, NHRA mechanics, and Baja 1000 mechanics. For use in their race cars and in their own cars. Any more questions? People who know use Valvoline.
From the Grand Ole Opry House, it's country's grandest night. The prestigious fan-voted TNN Music City News Country Award. We love you too. Ricky Van Shelton, George Jones, and Susie Boggess host this star-studded country music spectacular. The TNN Music City News Country Awards. Live Monday night at 8 Eastern only on TNN, the Nashville Network.
We went back to green, and quickly again we were yellow. Brett Bodine got his lap back from the race leader, Mark Martin. Oh, Dave Marcus and Kyle Petty are both involved in that crash at turns 3 and 4, and it puts us under the 4th caution.
Mike came along way after the wreck, but they're running so fast they just couldn't react fast enough to save the car, and they got into each other.
Here's what happened.
You see the 8 car there, he's got the fender on the 26 car. He's sideways there, turns around. From there on, it's history, folks. Once you get around backwards, that wall will get you.
There are no soft landings here.
Well, it looked like they got together as it went off in the corner. As they come along, Kyle Petty's going to enter into the frame here. You see the liquid on the track up there. There's Kyle. He's already got into the wall and coming down sideways.
That was the exhaust pipe you seen coming around there, so he really smacked her.
I tell you, that's brakes locked up. She's going to keep sliding. It's a little slippery on the top side.
Now there's Petty and Marcus both coming off the wall. Tried to go high. Apparently got into each other, trying to miss it.
That's just a judgment. You go either high or low. Sometimes you right move, if not, pull your pin down.
You know, both these cars, Kyle Petty and Dave Marcus, I think that's the best I've seen Dave run in 5 years. And I was really thinking he might have a top 5 finish today, and that's a shame. And of course, for Kyle Petty, that's terrible too.
I can't tell if the nose is pushed to the right or if the rear end's pushed out to the side.
I think the nose is pushed right and the rear end's pushed out too. That thing got a pretty good shot on each. Boy, look at Brett Bodine. He was leading the race.
And he made a pit stop under green. Ended up being the last car on the lead lap. Got his lap back and then got crunched.
Aerodynamically, that's a brick from here on. That's a terrible car to have to finish the race in.
And not only that, buddy, they've got the fuel to where they fill the gas tank, and that fuel area is really damaged. See, they just made the decision not to come in there.
Look at this little excuse me for spinning me out.
All right, let's get the aerial view of this, and we'll get it in real time. That one's more like an Escort than a T-Bird now.
Did you see him tell Sterling he wasn't real proud of the move he made as he come down pit road?
Well, Sterling was 2 laps down and had gotten one of those laps back, was trying to get on past Brett Bodine, but without success. Donnie Richardson pounding on that back spoiler. Kyle Petty's car looks even worse. Here's Glenn.
Well, you're right, Mike. Kyle's car is an absolute mess. The whole left rear has been torn loose on it. I don't know if they're going to be able to get fuel in the thing or not. Let me get out of the crew's way here. They're working real hard on the left rear. It looks like that the frame has been shoved over. Let's check with Randy now.
Well, Brett Bodine's car up on the jack. They're pounding on the left rear of it. Donnie Richardson, they're doing what they can. They're probably going to go at least a lap or 2 down, and if they can fix it to go back out, they'll come back in. And I don't think they're going to have to go to the garage area, but they might.
That was a race-winning car.
I tell you, they're gaining on that thing, pulling that quarterback.
You'd ask for a frame machine right there if you could have one. See, that back window's now Lexan. That's why it's not shattered in a million pieces. Let's have a look here.
We picked it up after they got together.
Well, we know what happened there, but Marcus got in the back of the 42 car, turned him up the racetrack. That's what caused the second part of that wreck. Of course, Kyle seen the wreck and slammed the brakes on, and nothing could be done there. Marcus didn't mean to run into him.
The rest of the guys just heading down the grass or wherever to dodge him. They're going to trying to do a lot of duct tape, hold that rear deck lid on.
Going to take more duct tape to fix that. Tough break for Dave Marcus. Had a great run going here today. 115 laps are complete. We are under caution for the 4th time today here at Dover Downs. There are your leaders. We'll be right back.
Hey, don't miss our awards night special edition of Crook and Chase.
We'll take you live backstage to meet the stars and talk to the winners of the TNN Music City News Country Awards.
Monday on TNN.
Like the outdoors? Looking for family fun? Just want to get away. With Virginia State Parks, all of this is closer than you think. In fact, it's a phone call away. Call 1-800-866-9222 for your free color information guide.
Attention race fans, come to Victory Lane Race Fan Store and register to win a trip for two to the sold-out Richmond Night Race, courtesy of the Tidewater 500 Travel Club. Also, check out the 93 race cards featuring Action Pack Series 2, $1.99 a pack, or Max Premiums, only $2.49. And listen to all the action with a Bearcat 200 XLT scanner with free frequency membership, only $238.88.
Everything for the race fan. Victory Lane Race Fan Store. It's like being on the team.
We're under caution here at Dover Downs. 116 laps. Dick Trickle makes a pit stop in the Bob Rahilly and Butch Mock car. From the Trans Am safety car, you're looking at Mark Martin, the race leader, who's finished second here 3 times. Hasn't yet won. Buddy, let's have one more look at this from the aerial view.
Okay, because of the severity of the bank here, of course, Kyle sees the wreck. You see Marcus here? He bumps right into the back of 42, turns him towards the infield. Of course, he's going to come back up the racetrack.
And into Marcus.
And into Marcus.
Yeah, Kyle saw the wreck and lifted. Dave Marcus didn't see it as quickly, or like Buddy said, it's a little bit blinded area there. Right in the back of him.
7 leaders so far, 8 lead changes, 4 caution flags for 20 laps. 19 cars still running on the lead lap. On our 800 number, our toll-free phone-in number, 451-7331. Dale calls in from New York about the policy of dealing with fluids in the cars after the race. I think all the tracks now have waste oil dumps and waste antifreeze dumps where you can take care of fluids in an environmentally correct way.
Racetrack's just like a man that has a real good shop around the home there. They have to have special liners and everything, and they store everything. There's no environmental damage.
1 lap to go. We'll be back to green. Kenny Wallace makes a late pit stop.
You see Mark Martin leading the race right here. Saw some other guys. There's Earnhardt down trying to get a lap back on the last caution. He didn't do it.
Darrell Waltrip up in the top 5. He's running in 4th. Waltrip 13th in the point standings. James from Texas wanted to know the last race Darrell won, and it's been a little while. A lot of questioning glances here. Greg Fields is going to check that for us.
A little while back.
We'll let you know. He's won a bunch of them.
A previous race.
He won Wilkesboro last year, I think.
We're having a contest out of this now.
How about the rain-shortened race at Darlington? That was it.
That's it.
I knew that. I was just testing you, Mike.
Not going to rain today.
Not at all.
Well, see, Ernie Irvin's moved up into 2nd place. Good running on the track. Good work with pit crews.
Well, let's see if Earnhardt can get his lap back. Mark Martin hauls him off into turn 1.
You can believe they don't want that 3-car back in that lead lap if they can possibly keep him back.
Remember, Earnhardt made a green flag stop for 4 tires. That put him 1 lap down.
Everybody's probably saying, please don't penalize him for anything after last week.
Here he goes. Oh, tell me you didn't touch him.
No, he didn't. That's a standardized move now.
We're waiting for you to tell me.
I think you got to get him.
Ernie Irvin takes over the lead.
Boy, look at Ernie's car wiggle, get down in the corner.
And Jimmy Spencer made up one of his laps now, so he's just 1 lap down.
How much of that do you feel when a car like Ernie's gets down in the corner and takes a jump like that and comes back?
When it takes the lead, you don't feel it real bad, just like he did.
Right.
When you're running 15th, they're crying on the radio. This thing's jumping around.
You know, the problem here, the 4-car is like a rocket ship. I don't believe these guys are going to be able to maintain that, making that lap up.
Spencer's not going to make it easy. I tell you, the 4-car, like you said, boy, look at that shot off of this corner. I tell you, Rutt Pittman, who builds the motors for this 4-car, he's just always kind of been there, building those things. And now, I tell you what, it's really showing up. He gets the job done with these things.
I used to accuse him when Rutt was the builder for House Ellington cars, and I drove for him. I used to accuse him of not giving me everything he had until race day. That thing was flying.
Trouble. Ricky Rutt is hard into the wall. Former winner here at Dover, and Morgan Shepherd went shooting by on the bottom at tremendous speed. Now will Earnhardt get his lap back as they come to the line?
There's Spencer trying to hold the 4 off.
Earnhardt gets his back, and Spencer gets one of his 2. For Earnhardt, it's a new race.
I'll tell you what, Spencer did a good job. He battled and made Ernie work for that thing. A while ago, he got outside of it, didn't clear him. We said the top show you would not see any easy wrecks at this racetrack. I tell you, when they break loose, they're going to tear up some race cars.
Ricky Rudd, who captured the 500 here last September.
Gosh, he's outside a little bit.
Lake Speed got into the rear quarter panel there and turned him around. And like I say, once that car gets in that direction, it's just where you're going to hit.
If you'll watch, there's not even any skid marks on the ground. That's so slippery on that part of the track. You'll see all 4 tires locked up in that smoke, but you still don't see a patch on the ground as much as you do in the bottom.
If it wasn't for the smoke, you wouldn't know that car was even touching the ground. Ricky is okay.
This is one of those places when you spin out, it feels like it picks up 50 miles an hour.
Looked like it did.
Yeah, Ricky knows they're not going to get that one back in, so he's just going to walk back to the garage.
Not sure if he'll rejoin Rick Hendrick this year, go to another car owner, or perhaps even field his own team.
Well, we talked to him. He says, hey, I'm going to do my own deal, but, you know, I'm sure we're still in the stages. Rick Hendrick said he'd help him any way he could, so Rick is the type guy, if you stay with him or you leave, he's still your friend. He'll help you.
That's good. Rusty Wallace was a lap down not too long ago. He is now the 5th place car.
Yeah, wow. Rusty, but he did that piece with me. He took that thing off his wrist, and he said Dr. Trammell couldn't believe how quick and how well that wrist had healed, so he's coming around.
We told you at the top of the show the monster was hungry today. So far, it has bit the cars of Greg Sachs, Bill Elliott, Jeff Gordon, Phil Parsons, Brett Bodine, Kyle Petty, Dave Marcus, and now Ricky Rudd.
And it ain't through.
Dale Earnhardt on pit road.
That's a heads-up move right there. He has nothing to lose. He'll be able to come right back up in position. He's on the tail end of the lead lap there, and he's just right now.
Brett Bodine on the pit. Still working with the tail end of that car. Ernie Irvan now at the front of the pack. Ernie, this is TNN. We saw when you took the lead there a little bit ago that car really started to wiggle down there in turn 1 as you took first place. I was asking Neil what that felt like, and he said when you take the lead, it got to feel pretty good, does it?
Yeah, it sure does. You know, after starting dead laps and coming all the way to the front, you know, we got a good race car today, and just going to try to bide our time and bring this Kodakson Chevrolet home the last part of the race and then race them hard.
Ernie, where are you beating them? Up off the corners or down into the corner?
Well, really, I feel like I could beat most everybody getting into the corner, and then the car's been handling pretty good off, so I can stay with them coming off and beat them in.
Okay, good luck the rest of the way.
Mike, that helps when they handle down the straightaway, too. And that one does. When he gets her lined up,
sure
we joked about that before, but I mean, he's got the total package. A good handling race car and a motor that's getting the job done.
Our thanks to Racing Radio's official communication company in NASCAR and Motorola for providing our in-car communications with Ernie Irvan. And we'll also get a word with a couple of other drivers today. We're ready with Rusty Wallace, who is the 5th place car, Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac. Rusty, this is TNN. That thing's come pretty well up through the pack for you today.
Well, everything's okay so far. We had a little problem at the starter race, but they fixed that, and the car's handling really good. It's definitely good enough to win the race. I just got to drive smooth, drive smart. We're still way early in this thing.
Is it tough to get a lap down here? Does it kind of get you down, or you just keep digging till you get it back?
Well, you just got to keep digging. You never get down. You know, the race isn't over till it's over, and I'm going to give it 110%. I had my bad luck early, then the 3 car had its bad luck, and so we both had a share of it. And, you know, obviously we're racing for that championship.
Thanks, Rusty. Good luck.
Well, Ricky Rudd has come in. He's gotten out of the ambulance here. And, Ricky, are you okay?
Yeah, my foot's a little bit sore. You know, just I don't know what it takes to get a good day. And, you know, we had a good run. Todd Chevrolet, the guys are doing a real good job. It was running good, handling good. And I don't know what Lake Speed's mind was. You know, he's 3 or 4 laps down. I don't know what the deal was. He just drove down into turn 1 and didn't hold it on the bottom and came up, hit me, and turned me around, put us in the fence. That's our day.
Well, once the car gets loose here, there's no saving it, is there?
Well, as soon as it started back around, I stood wide open in the gas. Thought maybe I could soften the impact a little bit. But no, here with that sealer, once you get up off that bottom lane and a half, you're pretty much gone.
Okay, sorry to have you have tough luck. Better luck next week at Pocono. Also on an update, we talked to Phil Parsons. He's okay also. He got nudged by some lap traffic too. So all the guys okay so far.
Thanks, Glenn. That's good news. 125 laps are complete here at the Monster Mile. Benny Parsons scored 2 of his 21 Winston Cup victories on the Monster. He won here in 76 and 77 in cars owned by LG DeWitt. He also drove the MC Anderson number 27, here passing newcomer Terry Labonte. A smiling Benny in victory lane after winning the 77 Delaware 500, outrunning David Pearson and Cale Yarborough for the checkered flag. Benny Parsons, the 73 Winston Cup champ, Back when radio didn't pay enough for announcers to get haircuts.
On your next vacation, come to a place with rugged terrain like you'd find in the Australian outback. A place where visitors bask on warm, sunny beaches like the French Riviera. And where you'll find historical buildings like those you'd see in Italy. Come to Texas. It's like a whole other country.
When you call 1-800-8888-TEX, you'll get this free 264-page Texas travel book. Come on. You can walk in the footsteps of Davy Crockett and Jim Bowie at the Alamo. Hi. Boating? No problem, because Texas has over 5,000 square miles of water. And even out here, you'll still find the friendliest people. Thanks. Texas, it's like a whole other country.
This is friction. Metal grinding on metal. Friction can wear your engine down. Friction can shorten its life. This is Pennzoil, the friction-fighting motor oil that protects more engines than any other motor oil in America. Choose Pennzoil. Use Pennzoil, and you'll get quality engine protection in each and every drop. Pennzoil. Performance, protection, quality.
If it were just to win more trophies, we wouldn't be here. But there's a side to Ford racing you won't find in the sports page. It's learning how to make your car safer by racing 200 miles an hour in heavy traffic. And learning how a granite roller coaster can make your truck even tougher. Because when it comes to developing technology for your Ford, there shouldn't be any limits. That's why we race. Of course, we're not about to give back all our trophies. Have you driven a Ford lately?
TNN Motorsports exclusive coverage of the Budweiser 500 is being brought to you by Ford and your local Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? 126 laps complete. Ernie Irvin leads Mark Martin. Darrell Walsh is up to third now on this caution flag. Jeff Bodine and Rusty Wallace in fifth. Everybody's been on pit road. Dan from West Virginia calls into our 800 number, wants to know, how does a gas man know when the gas can's empty?
Mike, this Union fuel is tinted with a real red tint for two reasons. One thing, when they have a clear hose on the end of the gas can, they can see it flowing through, and then when it quits flowing, they know the thing's empty. Plus, that red tint is so when it burns through the engine, they look at the intake manifolds after the race, and if it's red, they know they've been burning the proper fuel. If not, they know they got an additive. So it's that dye's in there where it's real easy to see. And that's not real easy to roll right there. They're dragging that one in.
GMAC financing on the back of that car. I'd hate to be toting the note on that one. While we're under caution, let's sneak in another commercial break so we can get back to green flag racing for you. We'll be right back. The Budweiser 500 after this.
Presenting the Ryobi Detail Sander. It gets into all those small, tight spaces where other sanders can't reach. And with special add-on accessories that also prepares surfaces for painting. Scrapes paint and adhesive off glass, wood, and metal. Even polishes and buffs to a brilliant finish. In fact, you can use the Ryobi Detail Sander any place your imagination takes you.
Boom! Last Action Hero. What do you think of anyone who doesn't see this movie?
Big mistake.
I love this place! I think it's the biggest movie of the summer. And now when you go to Burger King and order a flame-broiled Whopper with large fries and a medium drink, you get this Last Action Hero animated action cup free. Like him, you can be large and in charge. So see the movie and collect all 4 cups. It's your way right away. I love this place, and I'm going to see the movie.
Hey, Orlando, want to take it for a spin? Man, do I? No, I mean the street version of my Royal Oak Camaro. It's one of the grand prizes in Royal Oak's championship season sweepstakes. Or you could win a Ranger boat with an Evinrude motor like Orlando's. See the Royal Oak charcoal display for details. I just knew he was going to do that.
You say your eyes are red, irritated, dry? Don't hide them. Help them with Clear Eyes. It gets rid of the redness and has an extra moisturizing ingredient, too. Clear Eyes. And for allergies and colds, Clear Eyes ACR.
The best defense is not to offend. Thus, introducing the new Right Guard Sports Stick. Now with a time-release formula for longer-lasting protection against hostile odor all day. For protection that endures.
That's Buddy Baker's new fishing vessel that he's going on the world cruise with. May take our producer with him.
That's me rowing on the left.
That's our producer in the box on the right side there, about to be lowered over the side. 129 laps complete. We're getting ready to go back to green. Sorry, John Mullen. You're riding along with Jeff Gordon. P.J. Jones just moving up in the inside lane of the Harry Mellon car.
After that last picture he showed me up here at Dover, I'll tell you what, we need to put him in that box.
Oh, boy. Here's Ernie Irvan just ahead of Mark Martin. They're the first and second place cars as we get ready to go back to green. Pace car stretching out the field. It doesn't want to be part of one of these wrecks today. 5 caution flags so far. Green flag from Doyle Ford. Ted Musgrave trying to get a lap back in the U.S. Air Jasper Engines car on the inside. And Irvin has none of that. He just takes it off in there to turn 1.
Look at Mark Martin. Did you see the rubber go down on the track where he made that thing turn right in the middle of the corner?
Smoke out of Irvin's car, left rear, something dragging.
Looked like something puffed up that back straightaway.
And some sparks.
He can only hope it may be loaded up a little bit running around here slow.
Because he was already in 4th gear time he got around that part of the track. He had her in high gear. I tell you what it might be. There's been a little bit of moisture as these track cars run slow. No, this looks like we see some vapor coming out of it now.
Yeah.
Have to check. Not sure if he ran the same engine he qualified with in this backup car or not. He could.
Yep, that's it.
He's in trouble.
Let me tell you, it was doing too much there. I'm not so sure that's why the guys didn't slide it behind him. Might spit some moisture out of it. Boy, to come from dead last with a different race car, that's frustrating.
He's off the pace, but still running. Ernie Irvan 7th in the points. And Mark Martin goes back to the lead. You know, a bunch of people have passed Mark Martin, but nobody stayed there too long. Brett Bodine got in a wreck. Earnhardt had to stop. Rusty Wallace had to stop. Now Ernie Irvan at reduced speed.
You know, whoever's leading the race seems to have trouble. We got a note, Mike, earlier that on these flat tires that they made all the teams. They recommend they raise the air pressure up. They were dismounting the tires off the bead. They'd go in the corner so hard and it would stick so good it would totally pull the wheel off the rim and cause the flat tires.
Moving Irvan over, Kenny Schrader goes by. Ooh, squeeze play.
Yeah.
P.J. Jones gets a little rookie orientation there from Dale Earnhardt and Bobby Hillin. Earnhardt is headed for the front.
You know, he can make those moves and never get in trouble. Somebody else has done that to cause a 3-car wreck.
Oh, man.
Well,
9 car lifted the 44, got in the backup and going down the corner.
Yeah, that was hardly P.J.'s fault. Ernie Irvan slowed dramatically, and somebody ran into the back of Parnelli Jones Jr. Terry Labonte got a chunk of it. There are no just easy little single car spins here.
You see Jeff Gordon there, he's barely limping around the racetrack, and he almost got involved in that thing again.
He didn't have enough race car left to hit anything.
This is going to give the 4-car an opportunity to come out of the caution. He did not lose a lap, but, you know, from what we saw earlier, it might not be fixable on the caution flag.
Let's have another look at what happened here. Yeah, see, Ernie just almost stops. PJ's right there. Rick Wilson got in the back of him.
Poor Bobby Hillin just barely got
There's
by.
Labonte, Terry Labonte center punching the 9 car. Gave the nose of his car in.
Hillin's driven right through the middle of 3 of these deals today. And come away pretty much unscathed.
There we go.
Okay, the 4-car just running slow there, and they run up behind him, and he didn't check up quick enough.
You'll see smoke whispering right out of the left side of that 9. I mean, out of the 4-car.
Yeah.
As you said, PJ ran down into Parnelli. That's easy to make that mistake, isn't it?
See Jeff come in here.
Here
He said,
comes
how
Jeff
slow
Gordon.
do I have to go and miss all this stuff?
Yeah, he hasn't got enough left to hit anybody with. He can't run into anybody. Pit road action. Mark Martin, Jeff Bodine, Rusty Wallace, Dale Jarrett, Darrell Waltrip, and Rick Mast. Derek Cope, Davey Allison, Jimmy Hensley. Harry Gant, all on pit road. Kenny Schrader, Rick Wilson, Ernie Irvan, Bobby Hillen, Mike Waltrip, and Terry Labonte, all in the pits. And if he stays on the racetrack, Earnhardt will lead the next time around.
See it stop and go paddle. They have to let the cars on the track clear the end of pit road before they let them out. Here they are on the hood of that 4. We saw the trouble.
Neil, that looked kind of bad when he backed off. That's when smoke come out.
Yep.
So that's not real good.
Well, we saw that deal up the back straightaway under power, puffing up through there. That's usually the valve train going out on it.
I think that's Ruck Pittman in the jacket with the black sleeves, working under the hood of that car. Rick Wilson was involved. His car owner, Richard Petty.
There's no car.
There in the pit. Had been spotting up at the inside of turn number 4 for Rick.
Oh, my God. Sounds like a peat thrasher running. I don't believe it's going to get it done. Sounds like it's about 5 cylinders.
That's definitely a valve train deal. You see when he shifted gears there?
Look at the left side exhaust. At one time on the restart, as he went down the backstretch, there was smoking and sparks like it chucked a valve out there. Here's Glenn Jarrett.
Well, we're in the picture there. Ernie's crew chief, Tony Glover, and the engine builder, Sheldon Pittman, are discussing it right now. They seem to think that it is a burned piston. When Ernie shut the car off and then refired it, a lot of smoke came out of it. They're not certain, but Runt told me he thought that it was a burned piston, so that's going to be terminal.
I tell you, a burned piston usually smokes a lot more than that.
I tell you, they've got a couple options. They might come in and pull that plug wire off that cylinder, cut down the smoke and stuff. They'll try to cripple it right on through the rest of this race.
Yeah, he's 7th in Winston Cup points. Needs to finish this race if he can. 138 laps complete. There's the top 5. We'll be right back.
Oil. It's the lifeblood of your engine. That makes your oil filter your engine's most vital organ. That's why Fram keeps going the extra mile to make the best protection even better. The Fram Extra Guard oil filter. Unique glass fiber paper stops more dirt than any other filter for the best protection ever. Fram Extra Guard. American or import, it's an extra lease on life.
The other day I get in my car, it won't start. No small problem, right? Well, I figure it's the battery, so I go down to the AutoZone and I tell him what I need. The guy says to me, let's check your old one first. It might not be the problem. Turns out he was right. All I needed was a new battery cable. Talk about saving money. Now you tell me, would another parts store done that? They made sure I got exactly what I needed. Now I'll remember that. Believe me, I will.
From the days when they ripped through the sands of Daytona to tracks like Talladega and Darlington, racing fans have had a love affair with the drivers. To commemorate these heroes, Country Time presents our new Collector Series, featuring Kowicki, Gant, Shepard, Hamilton, Jarrett, and Darrell Waltrip. What better way to salute the men who risk it all on the Speedway and the fans who make it all worthwhile.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy, don't you think? Skin Bracer Aftershave.
By Menon.
Athlete's Foot. Every year, over 28 million Americans get it. Try NP27. Its doctor-recommended ingredient stops burning and itching fast. NP27. Nothing's a better cure for athlete's foot.
139 laps complete. 6th caution of the day. These pictures from the Steel Area Camera, makers of world-famous Steel chainsaws, string trimmers, and other outdoor equipment. Looks like we're going to get one to go here. See if we can get a quick word in with Rusty Wallace. Buddy?
Rusty, this Buddy Baker up at TNN. Car doing okay, or are you just riding along?
My car's doing real good, buddy. We made a stop just then to stay in sync with everybody. Make sure we got enough fuel. This thing's really fuel sensitive, this track, like you know. So we're in good shape.
Okay, man. Good luck.
Rusty Wallace on our Racing Radio's Motorola hookup. Lined up right behind Mark Martin. Call from Debbie in Canada. What's happened to Tim Brewer? Well, Tim is now the crew chief for Bobby Labonte on the Winston Cup Tour, the new Bill Davis team. He's going to go over there from Junior Johnson last year. Light out atop the safety car. They're in the backstretch. That covered grandstand is the main grandstand for the horse track. That's inside the 1 mile paved oval. Harness racing here, and that's the front stretch for the harness track, just inside.
As they come up this restart, we see the 21 car, Morgan Shepherd, a lap down the inside. Spencer's on the outside lane. He's on the tail end lead lap with Earnhardt leading, so Spencer's still fighting for that lap.
He was 2 down. He's 1 down now. Still a bit of smoke from Ernie Irvin's car. As he lines up for the restart, we'll try to keep him out there and keep him up in the Winston Cup points. Green flag. Spencer, Morgan Shepherd. Earnhardt on the outside. He's the race leader. And Bobby Labonte is the second place car. Driving for Bill Davis. Had a fine 8th place run at Charlotte in that Maxwell House Ford. And he's in second place. Ooh, Earnhardt up the racetrack. Ted Musgrave gets underneath.
Boy, that outside lane is not the place to be. We saw several guys get out there and they lose ground when they tried.
You know, speaking about Bobby Labonte, at one time he and the lead car were the only 2 on the lead lap at Charlotte. He was really in contention to win that race at one time.
Still picked up his best finish of the season. Ted Musgrave slips just a bit, and there are your 2 leaders.
We saw both these leaders kind of regroup and get out of that outside lane back on the inside. They want to try to make all the passes to the inside.
Rusty Wallace, 10th place on the move. Past Hunt Strickland, who had to use a provisional spot to get into the field. After sliding way up the track in qualifying and almost collecting the wall.
I tell you, Dr. Trammell will prove that wrist. Dover will be the ultimate test.
Yes.
To see how Rusty, what kind of shape he's in.
Ernie Irvin works around Jeff Gordon's crippled machine.
Well, Neil, whatever you said to do, they must have listened to you, because it's not smoking anymore. It's not running very well, but it's not smoking anymore.
Oh, I love this. Barry from Kentucky. Why doesn't NASCAR have side view mirrors? Barry, have you been watching? Would there be a side view mirror left on one of these cars?
They would, but
I don't think so.
They would, but they'd be laying on the racetrack.
Yeah, right. That'd be dangerous.
Rick Mass there has moved all the way up into the top 5 now.
And also Dick Trickle in the Butch Mock Bob Rahilly car, the Carolina Pottery car. He's up to 3rd. So pit stops under this last caution have really shuffled the field. That red car is Jeff Bodine, the Motorcraft Ford of Bud Moore, in 4th place. Former winner here. Both driver and car owner. Trouble in turn 1.
Sterling into the wall.
And he hit it hard.
While this is going on, you've got the 12 car and the 21 trying to get a lap back.
Race back to the line. Dale Jarrett also involved in that one. Running to the flag. And both Jimmy Spencer and Morgan Shepherd will get a lap back from Dale Earnhardt. Since they were ahead of Earnhardt, the race leader, when they came to the caution flag, Earnhardt slows down and waits for the pace car, and the drivers ahead of him get to go all the way around. So that'll put Spencer back on the lead lap and move Shepherd up to a position of being 1 lap down.
I'll tell you what, we're just past right from 150 mark. We've lost a lot of good race cars. Survival is going to be the name of this one.
Well, they had to shoot that horse in the Belmont yesterday, I understand. Had to put him down, the horse that broke its leg. They don't shoot race cars, do they?
No, but Dover does. The monster chews them alive. Well, you said that little piece, and I'm telling you,
thought
this
we were
place
kidding?
chew up some race cars.
Let's have another look at it. 7th caution of the day.
Okay, you see Sterling going in the corner here, right by himself. Smoke come out. It looked like he might have lost something in the motor compartment there. It just turned around on him, like maybe the engine locked up, Neil.
It's hard to tell, boys. Something, he had a little puff. I don't know if he locked the left rear up or if he had the...
Whoa.
Man, that's the part we didn't see before.
Yep, there's Dick Trickle and Jeff Bodine trying to go through.
This is when you say, where do I go?
And you say, nowhere right now. Slow down. Wait on him to make his mind up which way he's going to go.
Now the white car will be Jimmy Hensley and the yellow car Derek Cope. Close.
See Mark Martin going by there, very close.
Earnhardt was only one of the few cars on the lead lap that came in this time. He was out of sync one stop. He didn't stop that last time. T. Spencer and the Morgan Shepherd car did a good job of getting a lap back.
Jeff Bodine will be the first car out of the pits. And Bobby Labonte, though, he is the race leader.
Yeah, they're still working on this Ford car here, trying their best to figure out what to do to get it going. If it's puffing smoke, they're going to be concerned about just stopping that smoke where they were black flagging.
So it goes back down, button it up. Whoop.
Sounds like a 6-cylinder there.
That may be all that are kicking are 6 cylinders. Dover Downs celebrates its 25th anniversary this year. Neil Bonnet tamed the monster twice while driving for the Wood Brothers. His second start in the Wood Brothers Ford found him in victory lane in 1979. He also won in 1981 on the High Bank track here. First year for the downsized cars there. There's that brick of a Thunderbird for the Wood Brothers, leading Darrell Walters, Mountain Dew Junior Johnson Buick.
Saturday live on TNN Motorsports, the Busch season's getting good. And from behind the wheel, it's clear sailing ahead. But nothing lasts forever. Live from Myrtle Beach, Carolina Pride, Budweiser 250. Saturday live on TNN.
Like the outdoors? Looking for family fun? Just want to get away. With Virginia State Parks, all of this is closer than you think. In fact, it's a phone call away. Call 1-800-866-9222 for your free color information guide.
Raceway Souvenirs, your source for NASCAR and Winston Cup racing souvenirs. Just about anything for the racing fan, including race team jackets, T-shirts, Winston Cup sweatshirts, unique glassware sets, collector plates, and all kinds of hats. Racing collectibles are our specialty. Hard to find die-cast miniatures from today in NASCAR history. Ready to assemble kits and racing collector cards. We've even got racing bottled water. Raceway Souvenirs in Hampton, West Mercury Boulevard between Captain George's and Pizza Hut.
Well, you would think the monster would have had its fill by now, but I'm not sure. Bobby Labonte, driver of the Bill Davis Maxwell House Ford, successful graduate and former champion of the Busch Grand National Series, is the race leader. And the Stavola brothers car for Sterling Marlin, the Ray Bestis Brakes Ford, goes back to the garage area.
Mike, they're going to have to work to find them a place to park. The garage is full of wrecked race cars. You can see with that shot, there's about 7 or 8 of them in there trying to get them back together. Some of them are unrepairable.
Of the top 3 drivers in this race, there is not a Winston Cup victory yet among them. You have to go back here to 4th place in Davey Allison to find the first winner on the tour. Leader is Bobby Labonte, second is Rick Mast, and third is Dick Trickle. Let's check with Davey Allison. They may get him one to go this time. Davey, this is TNN. We haven't seen much of you today, not near any of the commotion and not up front on the lead. Looks like you've been kind of staying out of everything and just sneaking your way up front.
Well, we've been working on the car. We've had a little bit of handling problems, and we've had to make some adjustments, but it seems to be coming around pretty good for us. But all these wrecks just seem to be happening right in front of us. We've been pretty fortunate not to be involved in any of them so far. They just gave us one to go. We're going back to race and talk to y'all later on.
Okay, good luck. Davey Allison, the Robert Yates Haviland Ford, 4th place right now, just ahead of Jimmy Hensley. Hensley driving the Alan Kulwicki car. Barbara from Texas calls in. Who gets the pit spot Alan Kulwicki would have as champion? His race team does, because that team is still operating the car for the rest of this season. Jeff Bodine will take over as new team owner after the season's end. Alan Kulwicki Racing Inc. continues to operate the car and receives all of the benefits that go along with being Winston Cup champion owner.
Along with the deal money, the winner circle and all that is still honored with that race team. Thank goodness.
Average speed for this race, 87.7 miles per hour.
You were right, but he almost got a shot at him with a pace car.
Yeah, it'll run faster than that. Yeah. That LT1 motor. Sure it will.
These restarts have been critical. We've seen a lot of these accidents happen in the first or second or third lap after the restart until they get them sorted out. I promise you, they don't want to be in that outside lane.
And Bobby Labonte tries to keep Ted Musgrave from getting a lap back, lets Musgrave go and drops in the low groove. Rick Mast in second, Dick Trickle in third, facing the challenge from Davey Allison. Here's Glenn.
Well, it's standing room only in the infield care center down here. You got to get a ticket to get in there and to get back out. We're happy to report that Sterling Marling is okay. What happened, Sterling?
Auto went off in one, and something just snapped on the car and it turned around. And didn't have no warning, nothing. I think something in the motor, something broke it. Looped it and hit the wall.
You got down a lap or two early, but the car looked like it was working pretty well. You got your laps back and pretty well on your way.
Yeah, it was working good, but just a little tight in the middle, and we got that ditch was really going to be okay. So we'll get him next week.
Well, he's cooling off now. Unfortunately, he's got a lot of time left to do that now. Better luck next week.
And he's got a lot of company down in that garage, as you said, Glenn. Ernie Irvin has taken his car back to pit lane and to the garage with engine trouble. And Bobby Labonte, younger brother of the former Winston Cup champion, leads this race. Got to be a big smile on Bill Davis's face down on pit road. Hut Strickland trying to move up and under Rick Mast, and Davey Allison is coming.
You look at the 27 car, he had to take an optional starting spot here, and here he is up near the front now. And Davey Allison, he's picking him off, and he said something very key. Every time you stop here, you work on that car to make it a little better.
Yeah, even if you're leading the race, you got to be willing to change it because this track's going to change all day.
Terry Labonte makes a pit stop. And we're not even 1/3 distance. Davey Allison now up to second. Hut Strickland separates him from the race leader. Here's Glenn.
Boy, Ernie, what a great run you had going, but you had to park her. What happened?
Well, you know, I smelled the thing burn a piston on the restart, and we tried to salvage it out, but it evidently lost another cylinder too. So we just have to take this thing home and bring her back somewhere else. Probably bring her to Michigan.
I think that might have been because you didn't get any practice time on the lap. Maybe the jetting was off.
Well, you know, this is the motor that was in the car. It was a brand new motor. And, you know, no practice and stuff had to hurt it, so we didn't have a chance to, you know, dial the motor in like we needed to. So, you know, that couldn't help.
Okay, Ernie Irvin out for the day.
And Rick Mast out in front. Puts the Skoll machine up front. Number one is number one. There's his teammate, Harry Gant. Mid-pack. And Davey Allison past Rick Mast and into the lead. So it's Allison, Mast, and Bobby Labonte, with Dick Trickle fourth and Jimmy Hensley in the Kowicki car fifth.
Once Davey got around this guys, the other guys were trying to hold that back and get that lap back. The Musgrave car is out in front of Davey Allison right now. He's the only one got an opportunity to get a lap back should the caution come out.
Sixth place, Mark Martin.
You see Hut on the outside here, boy. That outside groove is so much slower. You just go right on by him. When the guy gets out like that, he's going to lose about 6 or 7 positions here.
Strickland is one lap down. Jimmy Hensley, Matchbox Toys, and White Rose Collectibles picking up the sponsorship for this race. Purolator will be on the side of the Kowicki car for the next 3 races, we understand. Really got to take your hat off to those companies that have jumped in to fill the void for that team, to provide them with sponsorship for the remaining races this season, and give Jimmy Hensley a good strong shot here. He just dropped the spot to Mark Martin, however.
Look at that steering wheel. He isn't fighting that thing a bit. Those tires are really sticking in the corner, Neil.
Boy, you're right, buddy. Just as soon as Mark went under, Hensley lifted, jumped right back in behind him. They're willing to give up that one position, but not that freight train. So they're kind of working. Hey, I'll let you have one of them, but I won't back in.
Didn't want to let Rusty Wallace on by. And Earnhardt coming up against the Lake Speed Hut Strickland battle. Dale at 9th place. Rick Wilson right with him in 10th, and Darrell Waltrip 11th. Harry Gant, Kenny Schrader right with them.
You know, he made that other stop. You know, he got out of sync on pit stops. He made a stop and had to go all the way to the rear. Here's Davey. Davey's stretching it out on him a little bit.
And Mark Martin trying to get Dick Trickle. And there's Rusty Wallace taking the spot from Jimmy Hensley.
That is for position right there. That's for third place. Now that we're watching. 75 cars third. Mark's trying to take it away. Made the pass.
And here comes Wallace on the outside.
You got to be strong to do that.
And you got to hope that that guy on the inside gives you a little bit of room.
Now Jimmy Hensley up alongside Dick Trickle. And Bobby Labonte going to try to gain back a spot. Well, Labonte's gang, saw them at dinner Friday night. They were fired up after that 8th place finish.